Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast. Coming out of SideQuest Studios, this is the Simpsons Index, episode 103. Hello out there, I am your host, Elliot Jay O'Neill, and joining me tonight is Oscar Morphew.
Hey!
And BT Calloway.
Yo.
And thank you once again for joining me for the Simpsons Index. This is the podcast where we watch and review 3 episodes of The Simpsons at a time, but there's a twist. Each episode must come from a different decade.
Must it?
Yes, it must.
Ooh.
So, yes, we're doing the Simpsons Index, and to do that, we have to watch episodes of The Simpsons. So, first tonight, we watched an episode from the HD era. This was Season 26, Episode 9, I Won't Be Home for Christmas. First released in December of 2014, it was directed by Mark Kirtland, written by Al Jean.
What?
Yeah. Al Jean writes
okay.
occasionally. In this episode, Moe distracts Homer and keeps him from going home on the night of Christmas and, guilts him because he's feeling lonely. And so Marge, not knowing any of this, thought Homer was just, drinking at Moe's, so she kicks him out of the house on Christmas, but then starts to feel bad and goes looking for him, and Homer, does a bunch of good deeds for people, apparently. Anyway, guys, what'd you think?
Is that what it was? Is that what it was about?
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think that's what we watched. I'm pretty sure.
It was a tough one.
It's like 2 formats of the Simpsons episodes went into the teleporter together.
Yeah.
And came out
got
a
Cronenberg
monster.
together, yeah. Not even a monster, at least a monster I would know what it was. This was it was mostly bland, and then it got a semblance of a plot, and then it kind of just meandered to the end, and then it was over.
Yeah, now that I doing the synopsis, I'm I think that's my main problem with this episode. It's a lot about a lot of different things. Any one of these things, if they just ran with it, would have been fine. But yeah, it just meandered around a bunch of different things.
It was like this combination of typical Simpsons Christmas episode of learning a lesson and family squabbles and coming together, and then 22 short films.
Yeah,
about Simpsons, because we're getting these little glimpses
little
into
cuts into other places.
Everyone's little things, but not for story. Sometimes it's, we open up with Comic Book Guy.
Yeah, watching the Cosmic Wars Christmas special.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that was a fun little play on that whole idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, starting with you, BT, for better or worse, what is a moment from this story that stands out to you?
Okay, so we don't reference the couch gag often. I am going to do it for this one because it has this title card, obligatory Frozen reference, and then Bart hits Lisa with a snowball, and she makes the snow castle from Frozen appear, and then
he goes, "Ay, caramba!" So you know it's The Simpsons you're watching.
Yeah, and then just in case you've forgotten,
and
then Homer's the snowman eats his own nose, ew, carrot. Okay, first of all, your little title card says, "Oh, we don't want to do this, but we have to," nod, wink. It's then don't do it.
Yeah.
If you've got no material for it, if you yourselves do not want to do it, then just don't.
I did enjoy Homer as Olaf. Those two designs kind of
they
went
fit together. That was fine.
Visually, aesthetically, that pleased me in the way that the opening did not.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was a good fit, except then he just ate his own nose and was carrot.
Because I'm a fat guy and I don't like vegetables.
I don't like them vegetable balls.
That is a funny joke. That is the definition of a joke.
Yeah.
Even feel
this was humorous!
Yeah, instead of obligatory Frozen reference, they just sort of had someone shouting at you at the end. This is funny, you laugh now.
Yeah, I would have gotten more enjoyment out of someone just going, the humor! 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 Jest!
Oh, see, that's the punchline.
Yeah.
It's classic.
Just when you think I'm going to say humor again, jest.
But yeah, by setting it up with the words obligatory, it's already setting you up for, this isn't going to be good. If you guys don't care, why do I care?
And we didn't, and I don't. I will give it a quick shout out to something I did like, which is the cookies on the counter are in the shape of the original design Simpsons.
Yes.
Oh, really? I missed that
the
one.
Tracy Ullman shorts. That was a really lovely touch.
Yeah, and again, they didn't draw attention to it. It was just there if you noticed.
Yeah, and just while we're talking about the intro as well, this is the exact same intro that they had on the episode that we covered last podcast, Gone Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it?
Up to the couch gag. So yeah, I think this is one that they probably use for any Christmas episodes going forward.
It's quite nice.
For the most part.
It's got lots of little, Mr. Burns as the White Witch of Narnia.
Yeah.
That's enjoyable.
I think I could do without Otto trying to smoke a candy cane.
That's just what he is now, right?
Yeah.
Like the HD era of Otto is
that's his flanderization.
now they're it's legal in some states. They're they go gung crazy for the weed jokes with Otto.
Yeah.
And they go weed crazy for the gun humor as well. How about you, Oscar? What is a moment from this episode that stands out to you for better or worse?
For worse, the tag at the end, which is like a next time on our Halloween episode.
Look forward to this one.
Just this weird, like, one joke. It was strange. You put it best when you said, did I just have 5 simultaneous strokes? Like, it was just this
Such
flurry of, like,
a heavy disconnect.
Yeah, like, I've never seen a Simpsons episode do that ever.
No.
Yeah, it is very weird for them to do a preview of the next episode, and albeit, this is like a television rip that we're watching, so might not appear on the normal version of the episode anyway.
Well, it didn't look like it was a banner ad or a next time all the Simpsons. It was literally like part of the
it had its own title card. It was like,
so it's a preview for an episode, I guess the next episode, The Man Who Came to Be Dinner. Now, this is a non-Treehouse of Horror where the Simpsons get abducted by Kang and Kodos and taken into outer space. They literally jump the shark out of the stratosphere.
As I think I've mentioned before, if they're in a spaceship, they've jumped all the sharks.
There's
Every
nothing.
single one.
You can't jump over anything else.
Yeah.
So it's sort of weird that we're talking about another episode now, but yeah, that episode as well. Like, I'm guessing they were super proud of their work because this episode, The Man Who Came to Be Dinner, was originally pitched as the sequel to the Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
The Simpsons movie 2 was almost the Simpsons get abducted and taken into outer space.
I don't mind that as an idea for the movie. But presumably the last movie.
Yeah.
Like, presumably the last of all the Simpsons. Like...
Yeah, grand finale, do the biggest, stupidest thing you can think of.
The biggest, grandest, craziest thing, like, almost having a blend of, like, Futurama in there, like...
Well, I've done that before. So.
Yeah, the Futurama crossover.
Yes.
You just may as well mention it as well. We'll be covering that episode when we do the Simpsons movie, and we'll also be talking about Camp Krusty, which was going to be the first Simpsons movie.
Mm-hmm.
But they only had enough material for just that one episode, so...
Oh, for the season 3?
Yeah, season 4's Camp Krusty, it was originally going to be a Simpsons movie in the early 90s, yeah.
Oh, that would have been... That's such a great small scale...
I know.
Like...
It was... Yeah, it's so close. And I'm going to say the thing that stood out to me for better or worse about this episode, the whole Christmas setting. Look, it's actually... Not many people realize this, but... The Simpsons in the classic years only had like 2 Christmas episodes.
Yeah.
Like the whole leaning on Christmas as a trope was sort of something that they only started doing in the teens and HD
when they
era.
started to run out of ideas.
Yeah. Networks always push for it so that they can do...
holiday episodes.
Yeah,
you've got
gather
something
the family
to...
around.
Yeah, and just so to mention it, so it's the Simpsons Index philosophy not to do Christmas episodes when it's going to be timely because... To be honest, a lot of the times I watched these Christmas episodes weren't at Christmas time. They were just in regular-ass repeats.
To be fair, we'll do that until that's what the sponsor wants.
Yeah, that's right.
So sponsor us, Hallmark or Dunlop tennis balls. I don't know, anyone.
Those Christmassy things like tennis balls. Yeah, so what stood out to me about this episode is, how it picked up a bunch of different little Christmas things and didn't exactly stick with any of them. Like, Homer's whole redeeming thing of, like, just going out and helping people, I feel like that was ruined by him going to the party.
Yeah, I kind of like that as a thing. Like, he, gets left alone and just by his inherent kind of ultimately good nature just ends up helping people, and Marge bumps into him. He's like, I actually learned something by just walking around and helping people.
Yeah.
And then I thought we'd get Marge kind of doing the same thing when she's looking for him but can't find it, so they go to the old folks' home, like, I guess we'll listen to their stories. They kind of inadvertently both spread Christmas cheer out of their Christmas misery. That's where I felt like, okay, it's actually getting some structure. It's picking up a little bit.
Yeah.
And it kind of went with that, but kind of didn't.
It was half-baked. It was like... still super gooey. You stick your knife into it and it's just mush. It's like, but it kind of looks good.
Yeah. Like, this is possible. And you're like, no one's going to complain if I serve these now.
That's right. Until they eat it and realize that it could have used maybe like a couple more passes at the script.
But by then, they've already eaten the poison.
That's right.
Very much so. And, like, it didn't even feel like they did that, and I've learnt something today moment. Like, that's what this episode needed.
Yeah, as cheesy as it would have been, it would have tied it together a bit nicer. Instead, we get this bit at the end where it's like, homie, I'm your present this year because I forgive you. Like,
that was awful. When Marge... It just felt completely out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Marge just kind of presents herself as a gift, and she hasn't seen the good that he's done.
Or learnt about it. As far as she knows, well, except for Mo. But then she's just sort of turned up at this party where he's getting drunk and eating a gingerbread house, and it's like, oh, you're doing your old shit again.
Yep.
Like, that's what she should have done there.
Also, Mo is a real sex pest in this.
So provo.
He forces himself onto Marge twice.
Yeah.
The first time, which has a funny joke saying, we're under the mistletoe.
Yeah.
And they say, that's not mistletoe, that's lettuce caught in a spider's web.
Yeah, that was really funny and a great
really,
cut.
really beautifully drawn. But still, and then he goes for it again, and you're just like...
Yeah, like, cause the first time I thought it was meant to be an accident because he accidentally just turned his head when she went in to kiss his cheek by pure accident. But just to do it again was like, no, it's really, really creepy.
Yeah. And her reaction as well. Like, she looks, like, disgusted, rightly so, especially for that second one of being like...
That's when you're in ball-kicking uppercut territory then.
Yeah, very much so. Absolutely. Kick a dude in the stones if he does that to you.
Mm-hmm.
And Mo just sort of gets forgotten at that moment as well. Mm-hmm. It should have been Marge was furious at Homer and, like... She's wandering the town trying to find Homer, and she's learning about all of his good deeds along the way, about how he's been spending his time, and like gets less and less. Like, because when Mo confesses, she's like, "I'm immediately alleviated of my anger." Like,
which I even wrote early on when Homer comes home and she kicks him out. It's like, no, dude, just explain yourself. Just say. And I think what would have worked so much better there, he goes, "But honey, I have a good reason. You see, I was at Moe's," and then she's like, "Fuck you, you were at Moe's."
Yeah.
And doesn't let him
harsh cut out.
Which would have been natural. He doesn't start with, well, Mo was really depressed and so I couldn't leave. And also Mo had changed the time on the clock, so I thought I was on time.
So, play count. How many times before today have you seen this episode?
Just the once.
Less than 0.
You've somehow unseen it.
Yes.
You've seen it, a Bret Easton Ellis novel once.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is an episode I know that I've seen before, but it felt very new to me right now.
There was one line like, I think I'd have seen this one. Have I? Shit.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the wackiness of this episode, though.
They do that weird thing where they incorporate a live-action film that the Simpsons are watching, and I hate whenever they do this. I don't think it's ever landed as a joke. It just looks really weird and out of place.
But yeah, it was some movie where...
There's a Miracle on 42nd Street.
The original.
Was it?
34th.
34th. I'm thinking of the upgraded version.
Oh, yes. On the nicer street.
Yeah.
Miracle on 3.4 Street.
Yep.
Why was that not animated? Why?
I don't know. They do this occasionally. It's so off-putting and so out of place.
Yeah. Weirdly takes you out of it. And I mean, it was a fine enough joke, Santa's on trial. It's like, funny thing is, in the sequel, that verdict was overturned.
Yeah.
Fine joke, but yeah, you're just sort of stuck thinking of it. Why was there a real person there just now?
Yeah, that's odd. And why are they on it like, oh my God, what is this freak?
Yeah.
Look at all the number of fingers. Ugh.
Look at his skin color, it's grey. Yes, it was in black and white. That joke is good. Humor!
Humor!
Jest!
The whole party scene was a very odd part of this episode.
It was.
I thought it was maybe going to like an Eyes Wide Shut kind of place.
Oh, wow.
The music was a little bit like that, and everyone was wearing masks.
Well, there is a different ending.
Hopefully a happy one.
And they still use the Nutcracker music, except just with more bass. Do 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 do.
Okay, a little bit of wakiness I did like is the very opening shot is all the kids skating outside the nuclear power plant, but Ralph is in roller skates.
Oh, was that a joke there?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know why they did it because they were showing that the lake was poison and the kids skating, and I'm like, okay, Ralph was on roller skates. That's fine.
Yeah, it was a cute little Ralph bit.
Yeah, and the Cosmic Wars Christmas story because they can't use Star Wars for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they've referenced Star Wars itself, so there's both Star Wars and Cosmic Wars in this universe.
And it's a loving tribute for a very awkward bit of cinema that I still haven't watched all of, the Star Wars Christmas story.
Yes.
I've only seen, there's like a 6-minute supercut on YouTube.
Yeah, that's everything you need to know.
Yeah. And I like sort of how they played with it a bit with, like, the Darth Vader family instead of the Chewie family.
Yeah, it's the, I don't know what the painting is. It's the
painting
of
Thanksgiving amongst the parents.
I don't know what
they
it's
actually did like the living version of that in that Modern Family episode.
Yes.
It's a very famous painting. I do not remember who it's by.
Editing Bay Elliot Jay here to say that the painting is by Norman Rockwell and it's called Freedom from Want, and it's also known as the Thanksgiving Picture or I'll Be Home for Christmas. Anyway, back to the show.
And all of the children are little Darth Vaders with like big smiles.
Yeah.
Which was like an amusing image.
Yeah.
I think my problem with that bit is then it zooms out and comic book guy's, bitching about it, and his wife, who I don't know her name.
Yes, Kumiko, who he married in season 25, I think.
And Kumiko's all like, you are totally justified in all your hatred of this. And it's like, it feels like a weird slap at the viewer, almost. It's like, if you complain about this, you're as bad as comic book guy complaining about the Star Wars special.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh God, that totally is what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quiet little backhand. I was like, I know what you did. I just saw it.
Which is, like, it's a fine enough and funny enough comment to make, but they did, like, hammer it a bit, where it's just constantly cutting to him, ooh, it's awful, why?
Get ready to watch the worst episode ever.
Yeah.
Down the barrel of the camera. And like,
oh, this is the worst viewing, and I haven't watched it since yesterday.
Like, it would have been slapping in the face harder if they had, like, comic book guy there being, oh, look, he's fat and stupid and he hates this, whereas this handsome guy over here loves this episode. Get it? Do you get it, you fucking morons? Humor!
It's a surprisingly unwacky episode. I guess we get, like, when Marge is doing the whole, like, walking at night through the neon signs, and it turns out she's in a neon sign store. I kind of like that joke.
Yeah, it was a fair misdirect for something that's been done 1,000 times. I did actually kind of like they're going through some of the signs, and one is big and tall morgue.
Yeah.
Dark, but I like it.
The Kit Kat Club, like a strange cabaret reference.
Yeah.
It's a strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like you class it up with cabaret. It's pronounced Cadbury.
Oh.
Like, sorry, I hate to be that guy. But,
How about the heart of this episode? Did you guys feel any bumps?
I almost did, and I think that's what grates me a little bit, is that I liked some of the idea of, he's inherently just doing good because Homer is a kind-hearted person.
Yeah.
Especially, when Moe's all sad, and even though it's kind of annoying to have Moe going, I'm sad.
Yeah.
At least Homer's reaction to that was, I suppose I can't leave you miserable on Christmas.
Very human Homer.
And even when he meets up with Ned and he's like, oh, you're all by yourself. And he's like, yeah, well, after Edna left me with nothing but her ungraded papers, which I'm still working through.
Yeah.
I got a joke out of that. And I kind of like their quick little, it wasn't overly done. It's just brief moment of them getting along.
Yeah.
And then Ned overdoes it, so Homer runs away. It's like, yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah, and I liked, Homer, your eyelashes are already long and fabulous. You do really need an eyelash curler.
Just buying it to be nice.
Yeah. I sort of like jokes like that in The Simpsons where they're not animated good enough to show that sort of detail. It's like when they harp on about their eye color and it's like, they're black dots. What are you talking about? Yeah, I really wish we didn't see Homer go to that party because that was where, like, you could have had some serious heart build-up, like Homer's going for big gesture time, you know.
And it's really where his story just stops. And he's just at this party now.
He needed a reason to be there. He needed, like, the squeaky voice teen to be, like, nervous and, like,
oh, there's
like
this
outside.
girl I want to talk to, but I don't know how.
He's like, come on, let's go. And he,
but instead, the moral is just, do your drinking at home. And it's like, I already knew that. But...
It's an episode of Emotional Blue Balls.
Wow.
Very much.
It almost gets us there.
It really does. And that's what's really a letdown. But yeah, that squeaky voice teen is so simple. And it works, and it's motive. And then Marge is going to show up and go, Homer Simpson, you're just getting drunk. So I was like, hey, I'm here for that guy. And he's like, thanks, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, did this feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
It felt like a Christmassy later day season episode.
Yeah. The characters were relatively grounded.
Yeah. I would say the characters are fine. It's just a bit bland and a bit dull.
Well, I mean, I even like Homer sort of taking that turn and going, I'm not going to be jerk-ass Homer, I'm going to be ass-jerk Homer. Like, that was a good sort of, like, little knowing thing of the problems with Homer.
Yeah, exactly.
And the right impulse, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it does show that he can be a real sweetheart sometimes, so I do kind of like that.
Yeah, and especially because, it was the whole hanging out with Mo thing, and Mo, of course, is his desperate self, and I gotta say, those were, like, a couple of my favorite jokes of the episode, like him blowing his nose on the napkin and then, like, wiping the beer with it. And even, like, as grating as the, don't leave, look, I'm wrapped around your leg, I kind of liked the one where he's, I'm on your shoulders now. It was just so stupid.
Yeah, it's a bit of the whack, but yeah. Oh, sorry, I realized I forgot something in whackness, where Bart's like, oh, I remember my last Christmas when I was 8, and Homer falls off the roof and gets hung by Christmas lights and gets electrocuted, and you're like, what is happening right now?
This was strange because this was in a scene where Lisa was like, I don't want to be like you, Bart, jaded at age 10. Bart doesn't seem jaded with the idea of Christmas. He's excited and he can't sleep because
his
he's
literal
excited.
sentence before that it was like, oh, the one night of the year a kid wants to get to sleep but can't. And it's like...
And so he remembers a memory which, painful for Homer, brought him great joy.
Yeah, and then when they come out of it, he's got this line of, they say you never forget the first time you see your father in a Santa suit being electrocuted. It's like, wait, was this supposed to be how you found out Santa wasn't real?
Or how you became jaded?
I don't. I'm so confused, yeah.
No, it was not good, but...
It was stuff that happened and then it stopped.
And we get nothing else from Bart and Lisa from the whole episode.
Oh, yeah. Because it's like, we've got to go find Dad, and just Moe appears in the chimney. It's like, that's not the story. Like, that we're starting. That's so weird now. Oh, now that I think about it more.
Yeah, it was really, like, that was the part of the episode I'm like, I think I'm going to have to throw this in the pit.
There's a lot of parts of this episode that belong in the anal corner. And
So I just can't not now. We're going to have to see someone about that.
okay, there's anal corner.
Anal corner.
It's fine.
Moe finds Homer's wallet.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's his Christmas gifts, and he opens it up, and there's some joke about his age or his weight or something like that.
Yeah.
And then
it's also got a license restriction, can only drive to and from work.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like 235. He's like, yeah, you wish you were 235, buddy.
And then the next episode's Homer at the Quickie Mart buying copious amounts of lotto scratchies.
Oh, yeah.
With his wallet.
No, he doesn't pull out his wallet. He just pulls out cash from his pockets. But it was like a confusing thing because I was like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be a plot point.
Yeah.
And it felt like it should have been.
And then it wasn't.
Yeah, because I thought, okay, that's why Moe was going to come round. But he just comes around and goes, yeah, and to let you know, Homer was hanging out with me. I somehow already know about the fact you threw him out for the night.
Yeah, so there was another bit of potential heart that they glossed over, like Moe feeling bad for that. Because, we see in that other wacky bit where he, suppresses the urge to feel emotion, so he jams his corkscrew into his head.
Because he's smiling and it hurts.
Yeah.
He's not used to smiling. He's like, oh, this is painful.
Better jam a corkscrew in my noggin.
Yeah, he's like an iPhone where you need to get a paper clip in there to get the SIM card out. It's just to suppress the smile. And
I just think of the weird bit with the Apu scene as well, is Apu looked really, unhappy to be at work. And it's like, first of all, Apu loves work. And second of all, Christmas wouldn't mean anything to him. He's Hindu.
Yeah.
So,
No, to him, this is perfect. 'Tis the season to be gouging.
Yeah, exactly.
I felt really sick when they opened up the hot dogs.
Yeah.
And those hot dogs started their life as Twinkies. And he cracks it open and this goo comes out and burns through the ground. I felt very ill from that image.
Just conceptually.
And I liked Quickie Nog, but I really wish they didn't zoom
Milk
in
it
and
so
then
much.
explain it and the Nog stands for not okay with government. And it's like, no, Quickie Nog is
Quickie
funny.
Nog was funny, and then it was the subtitles used to be milk.
Yeah.
You just needed that.
Yeah, that
You
was,
just
I'm nearly
needed-
I'm like, that's pretty good.
So look, as far as character integrity goes, I think we can all safely say that they were mostly themselves. Not the best versions, definitely not Moe.
But no massive betrayal of who they are.
But Moe's sex pestiness was gross. And that's going to bug me even more now that they glossed over the potential heart with him coming around to, I shouldn't swindle this guy who just, sacrificed being with his family tonight.
Yeah, and then he comes around and is like, I had to give Homer back his wallet. Where is he anyway? Oh, I sent him away. Okay. They literally already had it there.
Yeah, that's the first good deed of the night. And she goes around and sees all of this other good.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the weird thing, they had it. It's like when they pull back the first ball in a Newton's cradle and it swings and it just stops.
Yeah.
But that's not how physics works.
Yeah, the energy transfer was there. Why did it not occur?
They just didn't.
It's all perspective. You're standing at it from the wrong distance.
Yeah.
So it's hitting something solid and the other balls are right in front of it.
Yep.
But yes or no, would you watch this one again?
I don't see a point.
No.
No, I don't want to either. We've pretty well covered this, but BT, what would you change about this episode?
I feel like I've already gone. Over it enough. I mean, just keep the momentum you had. That's what's the most bewildering part for me. The pieces are not only there, they're next to each other, and all you have to do is nudge them together. And it's just so strange that it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle where you get the two pieces that would join and then you took them apart anyway.
Yeah.
These obviously don't go together.
Yeah. How about you, Oscar? What would you like to change?
My change would be rather drastic. I would really lean into the more collage kind of episode.
Yeah, a little bit of Christmas in Springfield.
Yes. But then my note that I wrote down earlier is that I would want to make this like a Star Wars Christmas special, but The Simpsons. Like the old episode where it's them doing a variety show.
Yeah, which is like beautifully cringy.
Totally.
Oh, and then they bring in Jefferson Starship, or
I would have that be Simpsons, but be like super awkward kind of live TV audience. I'd just go completely cringy and have that be like, I feel like there's something to be mined there. There's a whole thing that you can transplant.
The idea. Getting properly funny, cringy right is so hard.
Yes.
And I don't think current Simpsons writers could do it.
And I think that was sort of our big thing in discussing Simpsons spin-off Showcase when we covered that, is that you all gave it a cubic and I gave it a gold because of that very fact that because it's going for cringe humor, it's not a satisfying watch in that same
Whereas
way.
I gave it cubic because it was nailing what it was going for, but I do appreciate that what it's going for isn't fun.
Yeah. You have to sort of be aware of what it's referencing as well. But no, I really like that idea. And I think it'd actually like pave way for Comic Book Guy to also like interject in Statler and Waldorf style and sort of...
I mean, because in this, I'm going to make a bold statement and assume, because I haven't seen all the episodes in this season, that they're not all fantastic.
Ooh.
Like, just go for something hard. Go for something out of the wheelhouse. Have musical segments and like just make it a real kind of fun, cringy, like Christmas episode. Like lean hard into it.
Yeah, better to be a spectacular train wreck than a boring walk down the street.
No, this is what it is. Comic Book Guy is really depressed, and it's almost like It's a Wonderful Life. Like, it's a dream for him. Like, he kind of wakes up and finds himself inside the Christmas Star Wars Simpsons holiday special.
Okay,
and it's him going through being self-aware and learning the value of Christmas that is, from his own view, it's just informed by holiday TV specials. Like, it's hollow
it's
and it's
through
that
pop culture.
And then maybe he's a little less jaded for the experience.
Yes,
and all that.
an incredibly cynical character.
Yeah.
Take them and make them a little less cynical, because that's what Christmas movies and TV shows are all about.
I am all for it. High concept, let's do it.
That's going to be the Simpsons Index holiday special, isn't it? This old jaded fool right here. In each segment, I get visited by a ghost from the HD era, from the teens era, and the classic era.
Oh, dear God.
Yes.
Yeah, look, what I'd change about this episode... Yeah, I think I've already covered it pretty well, that the party at the end makes a lot more problems for the story than it solves. Because, that's where we've gotten from Homer steering away from doing good deeds for people, and that is exactly what would make this episode feel like an actual story rather than it sort of meandering around a bunch of different things. Because I like a lot of what this episode does visually. I think especially like in those beginning scenes where the house is just sort of washed in this like reddy brown.
I was going to bring up, it's really off-putting when everything's just washed in red for like no particular reason.
I imagine that they've dimmed the lights and the fire's sort of up a bit. I mean, it didn't have like that fire flicker, I guess.
Yeah, and it really needs that. Otherwise, it just looks like they've repainted the house.
Yeah.
Red room. Over there.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it so much. But again, it's just like they didn't lean into it either because the house was back to normal looking by the time Mo got there. So yeah, I'm just going to say, lean into the tone, guys. You sort of, so many metaphors for this episode.
Yep.
Musical moments of this episode. So there's a few of them. We got Homer and Mo singing Silent Night grossly.
Oh, yeah.
Except for that, I really like the music in the episode. It's all very nicely orchestral Christmas classics. I don't know what the song is. All I know is from the Family Guy, the ding, fries are done, ding, fries are done, ding, fries are done.
Fries are done.
Carol of the Bells, I think it is.
Yeah, when Marge is making the popcorn on a string and Maggie's around the corner eating them, which is a nice little thing. There's like this...
That joke was so fucking funny.
It's such a good, like... It's really, really nice orchestral stuff.
Yeah, Nutcracker coming in as well. And over that montage as well, I don't remember what song it is. It's like a Motowny Christmas song as well.
When Homer's walking through the streets?
Yeah, and...
Walking, not dancing?
Even the Anchor store is closed. And it just freezes on Anchor management. And I hate the format, but god damn, I love that pun.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And the welcome center that's got like 5 layers of security, like even more than that, 10. Mo singing karaoke at one point. He's singing Deep and Crisp and Even, which is my favorite kind of pizza. That's a joke I got out of a Christmas bonbon, by the way.
Oh, yeah, and I don't remember any of the movies Homer had the option of going to see, but I really like that bit
They
as
were
well.
all great.
Yeah.
Oh, the Nutty Professor.
Slowly has Alzheimer's.
With Alzheimer's, the new Seth Rogen and
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill
Hill
movie.
movie.
In a concentration camp.
And an obvious airplane parody.
Oh, yeah, it was like and one's about a model airplane who's lost his propeller.
I really like that bit. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
3 quality joke movie
Yeah.
titles. I was shocked.
And especially because it feels like, especially then and now, that Jonah Hill going for more of these meaty dramatic roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so that's not what you're getting. Ooh, Invictus. That might be fun. Was that the one he was in, or Moneyball?
Moneyball. Invictus has got Matt Damon and Morgan Freeman.
Always
as-
getting Morgan Freeman confused with
with
Jonah Hill.
I know. Their range is exactly the same.
Yep. You'd be surprised how many times you actually think you're watching Morgan Freeman. It's Jonah Hill.
Especially in Superbad. Who do you think you are, Seal?
I was obsessed with drawing penises. All kind of dicks.
You realize you either got to get busy drawing or get busy dying.
BT, do you have any other notes?
I mean, not after that one. Yeah. Again, there's another HD era one that feels oddly silent in some parts. I don't know
Yes.
if it's just a lack of background noise or that beginning with that transitioning from Homer to Marge, there's no music sting between. And it just feels like it
or
needs a little
noise or
and
sound.
it just, I don't know. I really want to pay attention to it when we get to the classic era. I want to just have an idea of what's missing because I'm not even sure. But it's something, and I know that. Homer drives drunk, so fuck that. He had 10 beers at Moe's.
Not good.
He crashes the car. What happens? He drives drunk.
No, later on, where they're like, oh, I wonder where Homer is.
He drives home drunk.
He drives home drunk, and then he drives away from home drunk.
Yes.
And then he's getting towed at one point.
And
in
then
the
the tow truck crashes
He
into
should
a
have got
fire
stopped by the cops,
Yeah.
and he didn't have his wallet.
Oh, there we go.
Could have worked. And then cheered someone up in prison. I don't know. And my last one is actually a negative note. So they do the thing where
What?
they...
Really?
I know. Where they pan through the house.
Yeah.
And they've done this so many times, but they stop and focus on the joke instead of just moving. It's so much funnier when they just move. Don't ever stop. It's so...
Don't ever stop in the middle of a pan through the house.
Exactly. Pan throughs helped Eddie think.
What was it pan stopped on anyway?
I don't know, just 2 elves with something written on their shirts.
Prep landing.
Pre-flight crew.
And they were
It
skeletons.
was fucking stupid.
When you stop on the pan through, it makes you question it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it isn't well
should've-
written
yeah.
enough to hold up against that criticism.
Should have just been, elf skeletons. Look
elf
at that.
skeletons.
That's
Or
Christmas.
skeletons.
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 Yeah.
Prep and Landing is a 2009 Disney 22-minute Christmas special about elves or some shit. I don't know. I kind of glanced at the Wikipedia article. Sarah Chalk and Dave Foley are in it. I like them. Anyway, back to the show.
And yeah, just on that, what did you guys think of the sullen Jesus? Sullen moody emo Jesus.
Their best Jesus joke ever is going to be, it's like, oh, I sent my son down to Earth once and he didn't come back the same when he's just sitting on the swings, slowly twisting.
That was last episode I was on, and that's my favorite Jesus joke out of all of the Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly. And so to come to this
I don't know what you did to him down there, but he was never the same.
Yeah, and it's like, never go back once they've gone to that one. So to have this spoiled, angry Jesus was just, nah.
It's a Christmas present. Don't you mean birthday? It's 2 presents.
Walkie-talkies are not 2 presents. God damn it. I mean, you damn it. It's like,
How about you, Oscar? Any other notes?
They make their gingerbread house and also has the Quickie Mart,
yeah.
which I didn't quite...
And a Sideshow Bob.
And a Sideshow Bob with a rake. I don't know why you would add Sideshow Bob, who's tried to murder.
Let's make a gingerbread man out of the person who's tried to kill our son and our entire family multiple times.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
And then next to it, directly next to it, is the Quickie Mart gingerbread house and Apu. And it's just kind of like, why? What?
I would have liked okay, you can save that if you're like, they're making a gingerbread house waiting for Homer to come home and he's taking so long they start just building the whole city.
Oh, that's I really like that.
There it is.
That's perfect.
You still don't make a Bob.
And then they use that as a map to trace his steps. Oh, yeah.
And also in the cookie jar, not only is there the original designs of the Simpsons, which is really nice, but Kang and Kodos cookies
one
as
of
well,
those,
which
implies they already know they're real.
it straddles the line. It's like, it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
Because it's cookies.
just a visual reference.
It's just a visual reference, and it could be like whatever, but it just kind of was.
Didn't sit well. That was it.
That's all I got on my paper.
And time for my final notes. I did not like the joke with Molman. Got a Christmas card from my doctor.
Oh, your test came back positive. Oh, for a Merry Christmas. You can already see the fold-up letter.
Yeah.
You're going to double this, aren't you?
Yeah, it was just disappointing.
Yeah, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
There was a visual reference to Spider Pig where Marge opens up pineapple plopper ham.
Yep.
That was another thing, like the quickie nog, where it just felt like they lingered on the visual joke a bit too much.
Because they're like humor.
Yeah, humor.
No, this episode was short.
Oh, definitely.
This is so much padding.
Yeah, they had to put in a preview for the next episode to fill in time.
They did the extended opening and then like a long couch gag.
Yeah.
And then the tag at the end, and then the preview for the next episode. Like that, I think, is the most padded I've ever seen a Simpsons
Very
episode.
true.
Yeah, especially because that intro as well, the Christmas intro, is like longer than the normal intro.
Yeah. There's a thoroughly great show called Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. And there's a
Blood.
Blood. There's a great joke in that where they're talking about it was very hard to write full episodes, so any scene that didn't have dialogue we considered for slow motion. And that's what it feels like. It's like any scene that doesn't have dialogue, let's just hold on the joke for as long as possible.
And yeah, just the other thing I forgot to say before about the intro, because you had this Christmas thing and then the Frozen parody for the couch gag, they felt like two different things. Like, it wasn't a very cohesive intro.
Yes.
It's because they had that title card.
Yeah,
really
especially
broke it up.
dividing it, yeah. They almost had a good running thing as well at the start of the second act where Marge and Homer, it's sort of cutting between them as their thoughts. And I thought that was great. And there was a good joke with Homer being absent-minded. I wonder if there's birds on the moon. And
Actually, he's got a lot of thinking to do. Are there birds on the moon?
And I thought that was going to be another recurring bit of the episode where we'd start seeing like these Homer Marge trading thoughts. Oh, they're not so different and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, the part where it just randomly reminded me of, if anyone has a reason these two should not be wed, speak now or forever hold the peace. Da 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 da. Hey.
Yeah.
Da, da.
No, totally. Good old Homer Thoughts playlist.
Yep.
We got a little Wiggum and Lou corner and the ever-evolving story of their little petty couple bickering.
This wasn't bad though. We've had so much worse. It was a little flat.
Yeah, at least it was tying in with the whole like thought trading thing and
Yeah.
Anyway, I've drunk so much cocoa, my pee smells like a ski chalet. I love that line. I also like that Bart gets Lisa to tell him about jazz to go to sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, and then she actually starts.
And the gusto that she goes, like, that's beautifully Lisa. That's Lisa that I love.
Yeah.
Just passionate Lisa.
It's like, it's not boring. It's the
But yeah, I like how she goes, but all that's going to have to wait, but I've got something to, like, is that she is excited to tell this.
Yeah, but I was also worried they were going to forget why she walked in to begin with, and they just ended on that story of jazz, and okay, thank God you remembered.
Yeah. And I like Bart's card as well. This counts as a present. And when Homer's eating the gingerbread house, there's a nice little Buster Keaton reference as the wall falls down. And
Wrong perspective, though.
Yeah.
With your front on.
And I hated the joke where Homer makes the key chirping noise from the car.
That was weird.
That was
stupid.
wacky.
Yeah. It's time to rank this thing! On the Simpsons Index, we rank using our 6-point scale, which starts down the bottom at failure. But maybe if the episode was just meh, you give a participant. But for the good rankings, you got good, bronze, great, silver, excellent, gold. But for the best of the very best, the ones that you'd go home to Christmas for, I don't know.
What you'd bring home for the holidays.
That's right. You'd give this present to your favorite person that you give presents to. You give those episodes cubic zirconia. I'm going to go first. Let me show you how it's done. Look, even going through my notes then, yeah, there were a good handful of jokes that I liked, but the story itself really lets this episode down. I'm giving it a participant, but I want everyone out there to know that this was actually very close to being a bronze. It's just, ultimately, I don't want to watch it again. It's not going to be worth it for the handful of stuff that I liked. Oscar, what do you reckon?
I'm going to go a cubic Zenopia. And participation as well. You know, didn't fail. It had a lot of nice little elements, but it just kind of showed up to the party. It didn't really put any thought into what its outfit was going to be. It just kind of came a little
It brought
drunk,
enough chips for itself.
but no dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, you brought half the party.
Yeah.
I mean,
Where's the
really,
dip?
we need to sort of ask other people to bring these things. But
Yeah.
BT, finish it off.
I was on the other side from you, Elliot, which is interesting. My foot was raised and I was going to kick it in the pit. And then it got just enough plot and just enough good material for me to lower the foot. And give it a Christmas hug while still thinking about that pit. It was very close to just being so boring that I hated it. But again, it does just enough right for me to go, oh, okay, you can go sit in the squalor of participants.
Squalor, squalor, squalor.
And the squalor grew 3 times that day. Yeah, look, I'm not going to watch it again. It's just okay enough.
It's just okay. All right, well, that'll be a unanimous participant. This will be joining other season 26 episodes in the participant ranks as Simpsorama, the Futurama crossover we mentioned before. The other season 26 is My Fair Lady, where Marge becomes an Uber driver.
Pointless.
And it'll also be joining Fears of a Clown, which we reviewed recently with Hottest 100s and Thousands. The Yellow Badge of Courage, which we did with you, Oscar, and Jordan, the fireworks episode.
Oh, yes. Oh, I feel like this is better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not by much.
Not by much at all.
It's in the same draw as
Yes.
participants. So
It'll also be joining The Burns and the Bees, which we reviewed recently. See Homer Run with the Safety Salamander.
yeah, it was a weird one.
Yeah. And Father Knows Worst, which we reviewed in HD Wasteland earlier in the year. Yeah. And that one was close as well, the helicopter parenting one.
Yeah, again, some decent ideas, poorly executed.
Poorly executed indeed. Before we move on, is that reputation justified?
Is that reputation justified?
You tell me.
Wow, that's much more succinct.
So, Dennis Perkins of the AV Club,
Dennis the Wildcard Perkins.
he gave this episode a B-. So yeah, it's probably like a bronze, low bronze. And he says, the moderate pleasure to be gleaned from I Won't Be Home for Christmas comes from a show trying to wring some heart and laughs from a quarter century of well-trod territory. The pleasures aren't inconsiderable, but they're effortful.
Effortful.
I agree with that.
True, it does have more effort than a lot of that era of Simpsons. So it doesn't land, but it tries, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sometimes. It tries half the time, which is more than what we usually get.
It tries to wring the emotion that was soaking into the shag.
Yeah. And yeah, not to editorialize too soon before we do this episode, but yeah, I watched the season 30 opener the other day, and my feelings on that are the same. It at least had a plot that went through, was like a line through the episode, but nothing landed. So garbage. I can't believe Gal Gadot did that. It's so beneath her. Anyway,
I don't know, it's got to be weird to be offered a role in The Simpsons now because it's so iconic, but it's in such a bad place. I mean, obviously celebrities still feel good about it. It's yeah, I'll do that, but I guess they also haven't watched it because they're busy being, famous.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably do it. Let's face it.
Just to be able to say it at dinner parties.
Yeah, I was on an episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah.
It's on my IMDb one.
I was on it. I was on
Yeah,
The Simpsons.
exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, if The Simpsons pick up my Simpsons spec script, they'll have to put me in as a guest star because I wrote myself in there.
You
Naturally.
monster. Is your name just Mary Sue?
It's Edward James O'Doherty, and I'm doing the Itchy and Scratchy Index. And my guest today is Comic Book Guy.
Wrist podcast ever.
All right, guys, that about does it for the HD era. Now we're going to go all the way back to the teens. We're going to the start of the teens, actually.
Ooh.
And we are going to find out the big mystery of what Homer J. Simpson's middle name is. What does the J stand for?
Wow.
I wonder what.
Will we find out what your middle initial stands for?
That too, yes.
Yes.
You'll find out what Elliot Jay O'Neill and Homer J. Simpson, what we stand for. We'll be back.
My middle name's Jay as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. B2.
It's kind of already there. It's a T.
Hello, little man. I will destroy you. And we are back, and we just watched our Teens Era episode. This was Season 10, Episode 6, Dolan in the Wind. First released in November of 98. It's a take on that song by Boob Dolan. It was first released in November of 98, directed by Matthew Nastuk and Mark Kirkland, written by Dominic Carey. In this episode, Homer wants to find out what his middle name is, so Grandpa takes him to meet some old hippies that used to hang out with his mum, and he really likes the hippie way of lifestyle, and he adopts it himself, but trouble when he screws up some stuff. You guys know this episode, it's basically a classic. Guys, what do you think?
Yeah, this is one that's a good argument for including Season 10 in the classics.
Damn straight.
Because this is so much fun, this one. I mean, I've seen this plenty of times before. I still got plenty of laugh out loud moments.
I feel like this, in my mind, this episode isn't as good but watching it, I had a great time.
Yeah.
No,
Lot of laughs, really solid. Yeah, really good.
No, this is a lot more fun than I remember having with it. And like while we're watching it actually at the start, I had to check that we're watching the right episode because it does do that first half of the act, fuck you, this isn't what the episode's about thing.
Yeah, but it also front loads the entire first act so heavily with jokes. You have just a great time for the rest of it, no matter what.
Oh, such a good opening.
Yeah.
The first chunk is so
to Mr.
solid.
Burns and
It's so good.
one grape, one Philly cheesesteak.
And a jar of garlic pickles.
Oh my God, and no one got out the knife. You got to get the knife and you got to do the taps, guys. Oh.
Run it under a hot tap.
Oh, hot tap is... Oh, because the metal expands. Right.
Science!
No one will want to kiss me after this.
Their last.
Yeah, and their film as well, like...
The recruitment video that Mr. Burns is making.
Yeah, just beautifully poorly acted.
Yeah. And I even when Homer's like, line is nuclear power. Homer delivers it the exact same with the claw and everything.
And just, when he's like, I know, nuclear power, of course. Yes, let us choose a career in nuclear power. Really? Well, for all these reasons and more.
Yeah. And they do the film credits, and it was directed by Alan Smithee.
Yeah. So, for those of you who don't know, Alan Smithee is whenever a director doesn't want their name attached to a project, they give the name Alan Smithee. So it pops up in like some very old B-roll stuff. I think they've kind of stopped doing it. I think Hollywood really hates it if you've made a movie and someone's bankrolled it, they are going to get mad if you try to put it out on Alan Smithee. That's saying this thing is fucking garbage.
Yeah. Well, also, apparently it is part of the DGA, like Directors Guild of America now, that you just can't do that anymore.
Yeah, so there have been apparently some other names that have taken its place, but none have gained the reputation of Alan Smithee.
That'd be a good filmography to watch.
It would be horrible.
It would be
great.
The films of Alan Smithee.
Yeah, and then who theoretically was actually behind it. That'd be very interesting. I would love to watch that, actually.
PT, starting with you, for better or worse, what is a moment from this episode that stands out to you?
A bit I really have always liked is the transition when Homer throws the Frisbee up and the spinning Frisbee becomes the spinning wheel of the car to go on the freak out, but then it comes back, instead of just being a transition, it's also the plot point because the Frisbee lands and blocks up the machinery, and it's so great to have something you wouldn't think anything, because you think it's just a scene transition. You don't think, no, this is a plot point. If they'd done that any other way, you might be like, where did that Frisbee go? But I love that. It's so smoothly done, and yet you're like, oh yeah, it's right, he threw it. When you find out that it's caused the problem, flawless. It's so good as a transition, and it's so good as a moment that carries so much weight for the plot.
Yeah.
Callbacks. It's the perfect callback is when you've forgotten about the thing you're calling back.
Yeah, because they hide it so well. I really, really respect that.
No, that's it. And it works in the way that, like, the hacky sack wouldn't, because, like, didn't we just say that go in the pond? But, yeah, because it was ambiguous what happened to the Frisbee. And it looked good, too.
Yeah, and in a way that you weren't thinking about it.
Yeah.
Frisbee goes up, we transition. You never think about Frisbee then landing.
No. Frisbee just keep going up, right?
Frisbee hover.
And then I love it again how they bring it back at the end of the second act where he like throws it away in disdain.
Uh-oh.
Just straight back into
that Frisbee of yours is boomerangs.
Yeah. Straight back into the window, and you hear them go, oh, god damn it.
As well as Homer's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Before it goes, like he sees it going back.
How about you, Oscar? What's a moment from this episode that stands out to you, for better or worse?
The amount of times the word poncho is said.
Yeah.
Poncho.
But I'm wearing a poncho. Everyone says poncho. It's fantastic. It's said like 21 times. It's brilliant.
Yep. That's the drinking game for this episode, actually.
Absolutely.
Drink when poncho. Yeah.
Drink peyote when they say poncho.
There's a brand of like coffee tequila called poncho. So,
Oh, is there? Cool.
It's one of our sponsors, right?
Yeah, I would love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you own tequila or coffee companies, please get in touch.
Or a coffee tequila company.
We'll say it 21 times.
Yeah.
Yes. Patron. And also donate to our Patreon. No, our patron. It's our fun so we can buy more
Patronize our
patron.
patrons so we can get more Patron.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck, what was it? Oh, yeah, the poncho.
Elliot, what's a moment in this episode that stands out for you, for better or worse?
Oh my god, no one's ever asked me this before. I gotta say, the hippies themselves, they were great additions, great characters to this episode. And yeah, jumping ahead briefly to guest stars, they were played by George Carlin, a legendary comedian. If you're not aware of him, go look up his 7 words you can't say or any of his religious.
It's fun because you can say those words now.
Yeah, exactly. Or any of his stand-up specials, like really, really really
He
good.
does a phenomenal bit on PTSD as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little more serious than Laugher, but it starts with it started off and it was shell shock. That's 2 syllables.
Yeah.
And then we had war weary. It's still syllables, but they're longer. Then we had battle fatigue. And then it goes all the way. And it's just saying how the more syllables you give it, the less serious it sounds.
Yeah.
And it's a really good bit. Very true and also
With
painfully funny.
Climate change.
I haven't seen that bit.
Oh, I feel like it's on the same kind of thing, like changing the terminology
Yeah.
weakens it. First it was climate change, now it's global warming, and
Yeah.
I'm not him, so I don't know the rest of it.
No, very
But
few
I'm
can
alive, so
take that,
yay
George.
me.
But yeah, he does a similar thing as well, where the more syllables you add, the less offensive it is. You know, you can't say retard anymore. Mentally challenged.
A lot of syllable humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
But
focused
it's still
on the
very
syllables.
true. So yeah.
But
Totally.
yeah, he's one of those amazing performers, like actually much like the Beatles, where when he started out stand-up, it was so like clean cut and square,
Yeah.
and like if you go back and listen to his like I'm the ice tray man, I'm always the one filling up the ice tray, and like that sort of stuff. And then when he dives into religion and society, he's so fucking awesome. Like,
And then his movie career, popping up in Bill and Ted.
Yep.
that's right. Oh, Rufus.
Yeah.
Rufus.
Dogma.
Yeah, done a few Kevin Smith movies. Yeah, it's the unwritten rule of the road. And playing Seth was Martin Mull. Do you guys know who that is?
No.
He's been in a lot of movies. He was Colonel Mustard in the Clue movie. He's also had parts in Roseanne and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You might not know him, but if he takes off the mask, he will reveal that he is Gene Parmesan.
Oh my god.
There it is.
Yeah.
One of my favorite bits in Arrested Development.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't actually know
course.
that was him until doing
Yeah.
show notes. And yeah, dude's had a career.
Working actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just I love the ones that just pop up around like, oh yeah, I think I know this was something. Let me look at their IMDb. Holy shit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's always fun.
And also, like, he is a very accomplished musician as well. Like,
Really?
banging guitar player, man. Like, crazy. Bringing it back to the hippie characters, they didn't have any, like, standout characteristics or anything. They just were the type of people who'd hang out.
And I think there's like really nice, like really subtle
Yeah.
characterization
say.
there, because Seth is a lot more tightly wound.
Yeah?
And what's the name of the other one?
Munchie.
Munchie.
Seth and Munchie's
And
Garden
Munchie's
Blast.
more kind of apologetic.
Yeah,
He's kind
Munchie's
of
one
like,
who's just like, just get out of here, Homer. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't blame him. He's just like, go.
Mm.
and Homer says the good morning, sunshine. Seth?
Yeah.
I feel like that sums up. That's
Yeah, but also like how they are presented as, Homer's got the whole, oh, well, you're all about profits, man. After, half the profits go to war orphans.
Yeah.
But it's just how he kind of challenges them, and they're like, no, we're still cool. But then later on, they're like, no, Homer, you were never a hippie. You just wear a poncho.
Yeah. But, I mean, even I like how they sort of flirt with, like, oh, maybe we could go for an old-fashioned
It's
freak
the
out.
mix of humoring him, but also kind of having some fun, but then it just reality kicks down the door.
He's the kid of one of their old dear
Yeah.
friends who they have heard is a dynamite in the sack.
Demon.
A demon.
I love that. Just the knowing look and Abe just so oblivious.
Ah, you heard about that, huh?
But yeah, and I guess it goes without saying, yes, that in school when this episode aired, this was a fucking phenomenal moment for me. Like just having Jay as my middle name and then just seeing that and like,
I was surprised how I didn't remember how early they got that out of the way.
Yeah. They do quite quickly. We go somewhere else as well. But.
yeah, and it's the right spelling and everything. It's so good. But it still leaves the question, what does Bart's J stand for in
Yeah.
Bartholomew J. Simpson?
Yeah, if Homer didn't know that was his middle initial, he's not going to pass it on.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just passed the initial on.
There is like an unofficial official explanation where like in an officially released like Simpsons book about the Simpsons family history revealed that Bart's middle name is Jojo, and they haven't gone against it. Like the Simpsons haven't said no, that's not the case.
That's not canon, yeah.
So it's like one of these official unofficial canon things that that's his middle name
It's
for
like
some reason.
Star Wars Legends,
Yeah.
Simpsons Legends. It's
Yeah.
not super canon until
It's-
the new movie comes out and contradicts it.
Yeah.
Contradicts it.
It's not extended universe until the Disney
Oh,
buy
God.
it and wipe the extended
Yeah.
universe.
Can you
Oh my
imagine-
god, that's going to happen.
I was going to say, can you imagine Disney going, hey, everything past season 9 doesn't count?
Oh my
wow.
god.
I'd have such mixed feelings. Because we'd lose Max Power in this episode, but we'd lose so much crap.
Yeah, even though I failed It's a Mad Marge, I'd say you could include it up to season 12, I reckon.
Ooh.
Anyway.
Well, I assume we would be consulted being experts.
Yeah, that we are. So anyway, play count. How many times before tonight do you think you've seen this episode?
Hippie load.
Okay.
Quite a few times. This is one that I feel like popped up quite a lot on the
old syndication.
Yeah, the old Fox 8 weekend.
No, definitely. I love this episode. I know I taped it. I've seen it a billion times. And so how about the wackiness of this episode? Homer gets everyone high.
Yeah.
No, which isn't wacky.
No, that's true.
It is a grounded story beat, and all of their wackiness is all peyote tripping.
Yeah, because I was going to rip on this for being, the weed isn't like that. But they're like, no, they take peyote. They specifically say nothing but carrots and peyote.
Yeah, and that's sort of the thing, like, because I originally thought it was mushrooms because of, like, the way they say their own private vegetables. But, yeah, so they had peyote, which means Homer harvested a bunch of cactuses and thought, yeah, this is a vegetable. Fucking grind it.
Yeah, sure.
May as well, even though it is grounded, and that's exactly what those characters would have been saying. Yeah, this is a lot of my favorite visuals from the episode.
I'm surprised how rock and roll Ned's hallucinations are.
Yeah,
it's got
that's
the Grateful Dead teddy bears and the skeleton and the Pink Floyd marching hammers.
That turn into the Rolling Stones lips.
I mean, we know he's a big Beatles fan, so I guess some of the other rock rubbed off on him.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is so much of that late 60s, early 70s rock peppered throughout this episode. Like, that whole peyote montage is done over White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane, which, man, fucking God.
That is my jam.
That is a song that just constantly builds and builds and builds, and then fucking, throw the toaster in, man. That moment is so fucking excellent.
The music!
Oh, my God. I thought I'd have to get one of the goddamn mates to do it. Homer versus Gophers is pretty wacky.
Yeah, that's right.
Fights one for a carrot, and they all swarm him at the end.
Yeah. Although, actually, this is wacky for Willie's hallucination where he thinks he sees Fergie. Modern Simpsons fans, this isn't Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas that he's seeing.
No, but it's where she got her nickname, the Duchess.
Oh.
The Duchess of York.
Oh.
Fergie York.
I did not realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is in reference to Princess Sarah Ferguson, who, of course, Willie would be super attracted to. And he's making out with a rake.
His face is so scratched up.
Wow.
So wonderful.
More so.
Okay. Early wackiness, it's like when they can't get the jar open, it's like, oh, well, shall I send out for Chinese? No, those people are all gristle. And the follow-up when Homer passes out trying to open up the jar, it's like, what we need around here is some new blood. You want me to drain Simpson while he's passed out?
If these are the ideas that don't go through, man, they've got some blood on their hands. Some
Lots
fresh
of
blood.
The best kind.
And Barney's hallucination, I don't know what the monster is that he sees.
It's a little bad trip gremlin.
Yeah, a little freak out gremlin.
But then he drinks some beer, and then the pink elephant from Dumbo comes in. And anyway.
That's a freaking trip. If you've not watched Pink Elephants on Parade bit from Dumbo in a long time, watch it and you'll get high.
It's so good.
I am hoping that the remake has that.
I guarantee you it won't, and it fucking should.
And final bit from the hallucination wackiness as well is Grandpa and Jasper as Beavis and Butthead.
We're so old.
It's such a long, drag-out joke, but it's just framed so perfectly, and I'm going to make a gif of that moment and watch it for years.
Yeah.
The animation's so nice. All of the sky.
Yeah.
It's such a nicely lit
If that could be GIF
sequence.
Wallpaper, we would get it in the house. That'd be amazing.
Oh my God.
I don't mean computer wallpaper, man. I mean literal. So I do love, hi Marge, we're freaking out squares.
No, Marge was definitely freaked out for sure.
Oh, so childlike.
I know.
This is quietly
This is
proud.
very nice Homer.
Yeah.
No jerk ass. Even though he fucks up and
But he accidentally, he didn't mean to do
totally,
that.
he's got the best intentions.
Yeah, and I just love how quietly proud he is. He's like, oh hey sweetie, you're freaking out squares.
Yeah, he is the perfect conduit for all that hippie stuff. Well, your feet are jet black, Dad.
Well, I do walk through pretty much anything.
So good.
You're lazy and self-righteous, you make it perfect, hippie.
That's so true. Any other wackiness?
Bob Hope.
This sequence, like, it isn't particularly funny, but what pays it off is that Homer is writing all of it down.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is one where, yeah, of course we find it amusing, but I don't know if a young Simpsons fan will. It's very, like, there's a lot of piles of references there.
Mm-hmm.
But how about the heart of this episode? Did you guys feel any bumps?
The poncho.
The poncho.
Yeah, when he's like, but I tried.
Yeah.
That really kind of sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I guess the implication in those moments is that, like, this is a part of him that he'd long forgotten about, you know, probably too young to retain those memories or whatever, and sort of getting told about Woodstock again and then seeing that beautiful mural as well, which is, like, gorgeous.
Yeah.
The synapses joined, you know, he remembered, like, all these parts of his past that he'd long forgotten, and now he's trying to recapture it. It's quite beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
Those nice sprinklings of Mona Simpson.
Yep.
She's full of heart. Anytime it's
She's a reference, yeah.
mostly anytime.
Until the latter ones.
Yes.
But I would say this is less heart, more spirit, if you like.
Oh.
That it's more, its feeling is in its ideology and its intent rather than its, actual thumps.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah.
I like that,
Groovy.
Indeed.
as the kids say.
Sorry, I just read one of my notes. When Homer gets to the hippie commie, it's like, I can feel the good vibrations. And it pans out, he's leaning into a beehive. Ouch.
And he even goes for the hippie spirit beauty at the end where he's doing the old putting the flowers in the barrel of the gun thing.
Yep.
Like that old photo. And they just shoot him in the head.
Yeah. It just ends on those beautiful jokes of, well, can't you pull it out? I'm a doctor, not a gardener. Well, can't you prune the loo so I can watch TV? What did I just say?
Yeah, cut in. Like, it is a bit of a sudden ending, but yeah, I'm willing to forgive
Because
that.
it ends on such a good joke. You're
Yeah.
laughing and then it's over. You're like, you get a, because you're over ending, not because, that's a bad ending.
I remember always watching this as a kid and being really confused and perplexed with that being like, was there a bullet? What? Like,
Yeah.
like it was shot into his head?
Assume they were like shooting rock salt or something.
Yeah. But then, if you've got rock salt shot directly into your brain,
Yeah.
that's probably not good either.
Well, neither is a flower.
Yeah.
No.
But I mean, it's a good thing it wasn't a gladiola, because otherwise.
Oh my gosh.
They call those the Widowmakers.
The stinger.
Yeah.
They don't let you use that no more.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not like a romantic heart or anything, but it is nice seeing, Homer embrace this side of himself, and going on the freak out was a lot of fun as well. Like,
The cosmic fool is here.
15 years of service, and they tell me with a gesture giving an invisible proclamation.
Yeah.
But ultimately, though, did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Oh, for sure. Homer exploring a new side of himself, and not just like a Homer job thing. He's actually going, this could be part of my personality that I've not explored, and goes for that. Yeah.
And grounded in his history.
Yeah.
It's not a complete out of nowhere kind of thing, which is always fun when he goes to space or, whatever that is. But this is like from his character that has already been established, which is, that's always fun, especially with those earlier seasons where there are these unanswered questions. What's his middle name?
Yeah.
There's stuff that hasn't been explored yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually interesting in an episode that references Mona quite a lot that she's actually not in it. Like,
And I think it's stronger for that.
Yes.
Oh, she's in it a little bit in the Woodstock flashback.
Yeah, but if she had shown up and go, Homer, that's not how you be a hippie.
Yeah, that's
it
right.
would have just sucked. And it needed her absence
Yep.
for Homer to flourish in the attempt to get close to a person that's not there.
And seeing all of those, like him and his dad, like seeing them all in that context, it's important without her.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we get to see them and how they all fit in with that. Whereas if she was there, it would become about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, so as far as character integrity goes as well, Grandpa is just on top form in this
my
episode.
I love him at Woodstock. You've got that picture-accurate representation of Woodstock, like the photo. You can actually side-by-side comparison. But Abe's just sitting there with his arms folded in a chair.
On a fold-out chair. in a suit.
Bring on Sha-na-na!
Sha-na-na. I'm sure there's an enlistment tent around here somewhere.
Put some pants on and pull them back down.
Yes.
He's in it for the spanking.
Yeah, even the bit where his introduction, he's lying on the floor because he's clearly tripped over a skateboard, which we didn't see happen. But it's just such a great, and that's what Grandpa's doing. It's like, it was your mother's job to love you and stuff. I was in it for the spanking.
And on the drive, we can have a nice father-son chat. Great. I'll go shoot myself for bringing this up. Fuck, I love that line. There are so many good quotable moments in this episode. But yes or no, would you watch this one again?
Uptown Girl. I mean, yes.
Certainly.
I'm definitely watching it again. We're going to watch it again. We're going to put it in a playlist. What playlist does this go in?
I say Mona Simpson.
Yeah. She is in it, despite what I said before.
Yeah, well, I mean, just pair this one with the one where she does come back, and I think that's going to have a good parallel for Homer dealing without his mother all these years later.
Pairing it up with the Abe and Homer and bottled liquids.
Yeah.
With the patented
Simpson and Son.
Sex tonic.
Yeah.
That's a great episode. It's Grandpa versus Sexual Inadequacy.
Yep, that's the one.
Such a good one.
I'm going to put this in the hallucinations playlist with like Lisa and, oh, look, it's Lisa in the sky. No diamonds, though.
Help us.
The drapes are melting again.
Frankly, I think I'm overdone.
Yes.
BT, what would you like to change about this episode?
Ooh, Nelly. I don't think I want to change anything because it's all pretty damn hilarious, but let me have a quick... Nope, don't change it.
All right.
Like, if you're going to be a total dick, you could say you needed to update some of the references, but fuck that. The kids can learn.
If you don't understand it, fantastic.
Yeah,
we didn't understand these things when we were watching them
That's right.
to begin with.
No, the episode still works regardless of those things.
Yeah, and it gets richer the more you understand. I never understood the bit at the end where they're playing Uptown Girl, but in, sitar music, and then he's got I Buried Flanders at the end, until someone explained to me about the Beatles and the, Paul is dead theory.
Yeah. Oh, that ending. We were talking, last time when we were with Hottest 100s and Thousands, the Sonic Youth, like that noise rock version of the Simpsons theme that closed out the episode. Yeah, this one where it's the Simpsons melody over like the rhythm section of Tomorrow Never Knows by the Beatles.
Yeah.
And Homer peppering in Uptown Girl.
He only comes in at the end.
Yeah.
And like we all sat there and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. And so this was performed by a band called Yola Tengo. They are like an experimental sort of shoegazy noise rock band.
Nice.
And they were apparently good friends with Donick Carey. And they're sort of one of those bands that sort of had just existed below the absolute success. But admittingly, I hadn't heard of them before I was doing my research, but I chucked a bit of them on while I was doing this. And yeah, they've got some solid stuff. Like
one of those bands that always has a gig but never gets to be a household name. Yeah, fair. It's still a decent place to be as long as you can get work.
How about you, Oscar? What would you like to change about this episode?
Maybe build up the police standoff at the end more. I don't know, like a little bit more escalation there, but also I feel like that may take away from the kind of realism of those hippie characters.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to go along with anything. They're like...
Yeah. The longer you spend there, the more they have to make their own stand. And I just love how they say that, like, this man does not represent us.
Yes. Yeah, beautifully done so. But other than, so not really. I
know what you mean. And I'm going to say what I'd change. I don't really want to change much. I have such a good time with this episode. I think the two standout things of me that sort of slow the pacing down is that Bob Hope bit, but... Again, that's it's so funny, especially if you know these people.
Yeah.
And
it was the first time that I laughed as soon as he said Bob Hope was his first stop for hippie references.
And Bob Hope just walks in and goes, groovy, man, I'm a hippie.
No,
you always want to take your hippie references from someone who opens with the words, I'm a hippie.
No, it's like, all right, I'm going to really get into horror movies now. Let's start with the famous horror movie directors, the Wayans brothers,
They did so many scary movies. They're even called Scary Movie.
The scariest.
It's right there on the title. Why would they lie?
It's like when you want fine wines, you get the one that says red wine.
So yeah, I'd say
fine.
that, and the actual like Homer, Lenny, Carl filming the nuclear plant thing. As much as I liked it, I felt like it dragged, and especially because it didn't end up having much to do with the rest of the episode.
He wanted to join the Actors Guild. Why else would he want to know what his middle name is?
Yeah. Would you like some phony credits? Fat guy number 3.
Good.
I never lie on the same form twice.
You lied dozens of times on a home loan application.
It was all a part of a single ball of lies.
Oh, I love his justifications.
Yeah.
Single ball of lies. So musical moments from the episode. Oh my God, this is a lot.
So good.
I want the Spotify playlist of this episode. There's a lot of
It may be
bangers.
the same, except for Uptown Girls, as the soundtrack for Battlefield Vietnam.
Yeah, very much. I remember playing that.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah? Oh,
Same.
check that one out.
Super good.
Nice.
Getting to blow people up in a Huey while listening to White Rabbit is good shit.
Such a
And
good
that live
tune.
version of Really Got Me, fucking blowtorch. It's awesome.
Kinks as well.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. But yeah, so some other songs in this episode, Time of the Season by the Zombies, and yeah, this song is my fucking jam. I love this shit. It's actually a band that I haven't checked out much, but I do really love the 2 songs they're famous for.
Yeah, well, they're very good.
Yeah. But yeah, Time of the Season, like just that dun dun dun, that just like, it's so Vietnam establishing shot
bing,
in my mind.
Bing, bing, little piano plinks.
Yeah.
That's very much walking through the rice fields.
Yeah. There was also Incense Strawberry something and time. It's a good
Incense Strawberry
Some
Peppermint.
you know,
Oh yeah.
Peppermint.
dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I remember downloading this off LimeWire.
Wow.
That song.
How retro. Can't believe we used to get our music on that.
I think people are going to like... You think the new retro is going to be retro tech where they use like 56K dial-up?
Yeah.
You know, the way that
Yeah.
some people use, vinyl. Yeah, it's less convenient, but it's more pure, man.
The songs don't sound the same unless they have to stop 10 times to buffer,
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just not the internet until you get it ruined if your mum picks up a phone.
Yep.
Incense and Peppermints by Strawberry Alarm Clock. There we go.
Strawberry Alarm Clock.
Again, I should start checking out these bands because... And yeah, of course, Homer singing Uptown Girl, completely missing the fucking point of the hippie movement.
Beautifully, though.
Misplaced passion is Homer's
Yeah.
bag,
that's the
baby.
fair.
And when it becomes his song of protest, Uptown Girl.
It's not even a 60... I don't think it's even a 70s song.
I think it's like 80s Joel.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. 1983. So
Beautiful.
it's perfectly wrong in every potential way.
Yep.
And yeah, just once again, bigging up that end credits music as well, because yeah, I fucking love Tomorrow Never Knows. Like, acid era Beatles is just so good. Like,
And the psychedelic imagery behind the credits, it's just really nice.
There's only one
end
word
credits.
for it, and it's groovy.
BT, do you have any other notes?
Indeed, I do. Homer's just, that's it. Somehow. I really love that. And okay, guys, set your nightsticks to whomp. Mine's stuck on 12. For crying out, there.
Yeah, and it's like the parent helping out their kids.
Yeah, I really love competent Wiggum in this one, especially when Lou's all like, the electric yellow's got me by the brain banana. He's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, competent Wiggum, not an outfit we see him wear much.
No, but in this it was really, really good. And the fact that he was then representative of the establishment, I think it was just really funny.
Yeah. Because especially, like, they go to the whole 9 yards with confronting the hippies as well with a tank and, like, 5 squad cars. And
Come up with your hands up so we can crush all your stuff and burn all your possessions.
How about you, Oscar? Any other notes?
I love that when Homer comes back to the farm, he throws the frisbee and it double clonks.
Yeah.
On
Against both their heads.
Both their heads. and it looks very painful.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the hacky sack either. Join the hack, and they just kick it between each other, kick it to Homer, and he doesn't get it, just boots it in. Like, it's a great metaphor for his approach to hippieism. Wants to be there so badly, but just doesn't understand.
Doesn't know.
it.
And they kick it into the pond for skinny dipping and the swing for skinny swinging.
Yep.
He really does get that hippie lifestyle.
Oh, I just love the animation of Homer when he tries to open up that jar in the beginning.
Yeah.
There's such nice, like, contorted faces.
Getting up on the bench. And
Spits in both his hands, uses his shirt. Like, it's such active animation. It's so good.
Yeah. It's time for my final notes. Yeah, just the shot of Woodstock as well. Like, that was absolutely true to it. And Jimi Hendrix playing the national anthem, like, which... For context, if you didn't know at the time, that was actually seen as a protest,
Yeah, because he was making the wow, 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 like a siren.
Oh, I didn't know that as well.
Yeah, it's meant to be America in crisis.
Yeah, but also, like, taking the lyrics out of it and performing on the instrument was a statement as well, and, like, playing that super distorted guitar and, like, really embellishing the melody as well and playing to the guitar's strength as well was seen as like a massive protest and whatever, and it was a really impactful moment. But again, Homer sort of missing the mark on hippieism is really funny because later at the dinner table scene, he's humming the national anthem, and it just, it's like, Homer, you're so close, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
It's
Narc.
I wish you'd stop calling me a narc.
Right, at least put on your poncho. Right, fine. Narc. How do we skip? The human wang is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that is a line that stuck with me.
Oh, yeah. It's on all my police reports.
And Dad, do you think you start showering soon? Perhaps.
In time.
In time. And just another little subtle indication that the hippies are bigger business than the image leads on as well. You know who is going to be mad? Our stockholders. Like, this must be a big company. It is publicly floated.
They're the biggest organic juice manufacturers in Springfield, which we know is very big. I mean, West Springfield is the size of Texas.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, it does put a sad spin on this episode that, they probably didn't get out of this okay.
No. Oh, no.
Would have been arrested on peyote.
But it was nice of them to blame an oaf. It is time to rank this thing. BT, kick it off.
Oh, man. I'm pretty damn comfortable giving this a solid gold.
Yeah?
It's one of those ones, there's nothing wrong with it. I just can't quite give it the cubic. I'm kind of hoping someone does, but it is just unquestionably, it's great. I was sitting there going, okay, it's definitely a gold opening, but I can't remember how well the ending ties it together. And it is admittedly a little bit quick from a story perspective, but it's fun and it's funny. It's great. So yeah, solid gold for me.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it was edging a cubic. It's very well much in the dead center of gold for me. I could have given it a silver, but man, like you said, it's too much damn fun. Like, I have a solid time with this. I'm very comfortable calling this an excellent episode. Oscar, finish it off.
Oh, yeah, it's a straight on gold, baby. That opening is a cubic opening for me, though.
Yeah.
It's just like every single moment.
Yeah, it's one there's not a single wasted line.
No, it's all beautiful. They use every single part of the beast.
They really do. Guys, this will be a unanimous gold. This will be joining other unanimous golds like A Fish Called Selma, which we did the other week with Pods in the Kia Springfield, Bart on the Road, with the wad fur.
Oh, so good.
Burns Baby Burns, which we reviewed a few weeks ago with Jordan. Yep, the
Larry.
Yeah, what's his person name?
All I know is he doesn't get any respect. Don Cheadle.
Why can't I fucking remember his name? Robert Karloff? Rob, you guys know it.
Joey Joe Shabadoo.
Rodney Dangerfield. Fuck, there. Got there. Fuck you.
If it helps you any, I actually couldn't remember, but I can remember what it wasn't.
All right, and it's time for Is That Reputation Justified? But
is there a twist?
This is not for this episode. See, when we did That 90s Show with Hottest 100s and Thousands, I was caught up in the, how do I put it, very angry energy in the room that I've completely forgot to do it. So I normally would just forget about it, but this is actually a bit of a historic Is That Reputation Justified for That 90s Show. Do you remember that episode, Oscar?
Is that the one where Homer starts like grunge rock?
Yep. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, vaguely.
So this came from Robert Canning of IGN.
Robert the Feather Touch Canning.
Not today, my friend. He gave That 90s Show a 3 out of 10.
Did it kill his wife?
All right. He goes on to say, what That 90s Show did was kill my wife. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're spot on there.
Sorry,
That's the
Rob.
whole review.
That explains why he hates it so much. Even then, only a 3.
Yeah, you gave it...
I mean, you've really got to piss him off to get a 3, so...
He is the feather touch. He says, what That 90s Show did was neither cool nor interesting. Instead, it insulted lifelong Simpsons fans everywhere. With this episode, the writers chose to change the history of the Simpsons family. It was my least favorite episode of the 19th season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that 90s Show.
It's like a lead feather.
Actually, just out of curiosity, you were there when we did that episode, but not for the recording. What would have you given it, actually?
I feel like I could have gone participant.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, because I've listened to the podcast since, my biggest point of disagreement, you guys were talking about how it ruins the canon. I feel like there's nothing that can't happen in Simpsons canon now. It just gets shifted in time. And Simpsons' timeline has always been very wibbly-wobbly. Like, Homer has always been portrayed as at least 35 plus.
Yeah.
And if Marge and Homer did have Bart straight out of high school, and even if Homer was kept back a couple of years, he's, late 20s, early 30s maximum. There's always been at least a 5-year gap.
Yeah.
And so to say this is what happened in that 5-year gap, and they've been going for so long they had to make it in the 90s, I think a lot of the jokes really fall flat. I think there was so much more they could have done with that professor character. I think the professor character should have been Marge's intellectual stimulation, whereas Homer is her emotional stimulation. And it was a decision between those 2 points. There was so much more to get from it. But I don't think it destroys the timeline the way a lot of people say it does. Because B-sharps can still happen. It just happens later now. So, yeah, it's not one I want to defend. That's not a hill I want to die on. But I feel like there's so much worse that has been done to The Simpsons than that episode.
Yeah.
But it didn't kill your wife.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. I mean, I have to get married first, and that would be a weird wedding day of just to let you know, an episode may try to kill you. Just to anger me. I know it's weird. Just I love you, honey.
Just go with it.
The Simpsons is too powerful to be stopped. It is killing wives. All right, guys. Well, that about does it for our Teens Era episode and also a mini extra podcast about another Teens Era episode. Anyway, now it's time for our classic episode. Now we're going to go all the way back to the 4th season with Duffless. How would Eliza Shilas introduce that episode?
Duffless, looking in the glass and the foam's the mimic out. Duffless,
we'll be back
for the count and I'm drowning in it.
Nice.
All I have to do is rhyme it with it. It's not hard.
Yeah. Yeah, Lin-Manuel, you hack.
You genius hack. How dare you take one easy rhyme?
Wealthy hack.
He earned it, though.
I'm Alexander Hamilton, and I'm here to say that...
I'm going to declare independence the patriotic way.
Yeah. And we are back, and we just watched our classic and our final episode for the evening, which was Season 4, Episode 16, Duffless. First released in February of '93, it was directed by Jim Reardon and written by David M. Stern. In this episode, Homer gets busted drink driving, and he gets court-appointed Algernon meetings, and Marge, concerned about his drinking habits, asks him to go sober for 30 days, and in the B story, Bart ruins Lisa's tomato, and so she starts a new experiment for the science fair. Is my brother dumber than a hamster? Guys, what did you think?
Oh, I love this episode so much.
So classic.
Yeah, if I can borrow a quote from our good friends at Pods in the Key of Springfield, this episode fucks.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun with this one. It's one of these ones that's like, I sometimes forgot that the hamster and the Duffless story are the same thing.
I did it as well. I remember when we started watching it, and it starts with that fantastic Go-Go Ray bit.
Oh.
Can't stop doing the monkey.
I'm disrupting learning, but I don't mind. First prize.
First prize.
Yeah, I love Lisa's. I'm just messing with you. It's a very kids thing to just be doing.
Why are you saying that?
I gotta say, Lisa, that should have been your experiment. How much can you mess with a mind by...
Subliminal message while sleeping, yeah.
Yeah.
Subliminal, liminal, and superliminal.
Hey, you.
Kilmer!
Yeah, let's get into it. BT, for better or worse, what's a moment from this episode that stands out to you?
Ooh, motherfucker. Actually, no, I know where I'm going to go with this. The bit I'm going to call upon is the whole escape the plant bit. That bit is ridiculous and amazingly funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the implication of Homer has not prepared for this, because when he gets the giant spider, he doesn't even know what to do. He didn't read the thing and then do it. And I love that subtext of him not even preparing. Just like, okay, I'll just use this to escape. It's like, nope, don't read it or anything. I'll be prepared. Nope. And I love that.
If to pass the spider's curse, you must recite a Bible verse.
Thou shalt not... Nah, hits it with a rock.
He David's him.
Actually, that's a very good point. He did a Bible action.
Still went biblical with
that's how he gets through it, because it is still a Bible verse, kind of.
And it's got the weird, like, early Simpsons when, like, they illustrate Springfield as a violent place when everyone's marching and a guy stops to tie his shoe and guys thwomps in the back and gets him to keep moving like some kind of baton death march.
Yeah.
Yeah, just thinking about that as well. Yeah, Homer obviously didn't read the instructions written in a very playful, like, in couplets.
Yeah.
But he obviously skipped to the end to where the broken window is, because Barney was waiting for him at the right spot.
Yep.
But unfortunately, he spots a pile of rags that he thought was Princess Di.
I love that it's a broken window. Like,
yeah.
It's just a window that's broken. Like, people use it.
Yeah, it's like how Mr. Burns goes through all those security doors and gets to the very bottom with to shut off the power, and there's just a broken door and the dog's not.
Yeah. Somehow wandered in.
The very slight joke I wanted to bring up is one of the posters in the Duff Brewery talking about all their ads throughout the years has Prohibition got you down? Try Dr. Duff's tonic. And it's like, obviously them subtly getting alcohol to the populace during Prohibition, and I fucking love that. There were so many incredibly slight, subtle jokes in this. The number of times I stop and go, oh, fuck, that's hilarious.
Yeah. No, it's so fantastic. And yeah, in that scene as well where they have that, like, old school cartoon as well, it's like, it fills your beer receptors up with goodness.
Your Q-zone. With goodness, with pure goodness.
Oh, it's so good. Because, yeah, I love watching all those, like, old doctor recommends ads on YouTube. They're just horrible.
Oh, yeah.
My doctor recommends camels. How about you, Oscar? What is a moment from this episode that stands out to you for better or worse?
Ooh, I love the Clockwork Orange cupcake reference.
A cupcake orange, yes.
Oh my God, it's so good.
The music.
The
and
music and him
perspective.
just like going cross-eyed and like collapsing down on the ground. It's such a strong B story.
Yeah.
And it doesn't intersect with the main story at all, and it is not flawed because of that.
No.
Yeah.
Because they are both so beautifully strong and dynamic. Oh, well, they are kind of. They do cross over at the end.
Yeah, I think they have a great kind of intersection in the sense that when one is ramping up, the other... Because Homer, he
Yeah,
goes... for
absolutely.
a lot of things happen with him, and then he gets to, okay, I'm going to 30 days without beer, and there's only really kind of just snippets of him doing that, because you can't follow him for a full 30 days. It's going to get boring. There's no story. He's just not drinking. And so as that's kind of flatlining because there's not much you can do with that, that's when the Bart Lisa story starts ramping up, and it carries that weight to the end of the episode. And it's so good.
The science fair and the nice intersection of Homer having already gone almost a month and Ralph's little
Alcohol-fueled
car.
A surprisingly adept science fair presentation for Ralph.
He may have just wandered behind that that experiment.
Yeah, that's true. It was originally Millhouse's, and then he had to go with how
Pretty
gravity
lame,
works.
Millhouse.
Behold
Pretty
gravity
lame.
in all its glory.
I love it. Anytime Millhouse says like "behold," anytime he has that kind of
The cat goes in.
"This is my horsey," nay.
But yeah, that clockwork, the cupcake orange bit, that is so good. There is like someone has made like a Simpsons and film references side by side thing. And this was one that I didn't actually realize until like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
When that video came along and you saw the side by side, and it's just amazing. Just the little shots that they decided to replicate. For a scene that's like, I mean, from a movie that's also objectively hard to watch. And in reference to a scene that is hard to watch.
And you don't need to know the reference to get it. It's
He's
because
freaked, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, he's freaked out by cupcakes. They keep shocking him, and later on, you're like,
and it works on those multiple levels. It's all about that conditioning of the mind. And
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you're watching it, and your older brother who watches a lot of Kubrick is laughing. You're like, I mean, it's funny, Phil, but
Hey, now that I think about it, raindrops keep falling on my head, and singing in the rain could be about the same person.
oh my God.
And yeah, I'm going to say the moment from the story that stands out to me, and talking about the intersectioning of this episode, is when Bart's freaking out from the cupcake thing, then Homer grabs the last six packs that's in the fridge and pours them out. And
When I was 17,
it is all kinds of perfect.
very good beer.
It is all kinds of perfect. It is so...
It's so beautiful, isn't it?
yeah, I think all of us were singing that the next day at school. It's so beautifully succinct and just stupidly funny.
I was Brian McGee.
I stayed up listening to Queen. Just him knocked out listening to Queen.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I picked that for the main picture for this episode. Like, you know exactly what's going on in that moment. My second option was the photo ID of Brian McGee.
I like how there's a weird sort of continuity between that scene there, and I can't remember which one comes first, but the one where it's like when Bart can't see Itchy and Scratchy, and it's got the moon landing, and Homer's sitting in a beanbag chair listening to records. Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy.
Well, yeah, Homer in that beanbag chair.
I just love the relationship with Homer and music in general. It's great.
Just getting loaded, listening to the good tunes of the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, just having a good time.
Yeah. And yeah, just about that story as well, I did find that the pacing did kind of go weird in the third act, though. And
there was some weird, slower moments, but again, I think that's just the nature of visual storytelling, that we've just gotten more adept to the speed of it.
Sure. But yeah, I actually didn't think about it like this before you guys had sort of mentioned it. Is, one plot's ramping up, the other one's ramping down, all that sort of thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, that sort of frames the third act a bit better in my mind now, because I felt once the science fair over, it felt like they just sprinted through the Homer plot. But, you did bring up a good point. It's 30 days of him not drinking. What's he going to do? Not drinking stuff?
Yeah.
Sober things.
It's so simple. It's such a simple ending. It's just nice. It's like family values. Like it's talking about like drinking problems.
Yeah, you consider where Homer started with his hiding beer around the house and drinking to escape reality. And do you ever drink alone? Does the Lord count as a person?
No.
Then yes.
Do you need a beer to fall asleep? Thank you, I'd love one.
Yeah, so you take that Homer and you compare it to the Homer who's like, put it in the fridge. I got a date with my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks at the barflies, and it's a lot of really nice visual storytelling and simple paying off what they've spent the whole episode like building up.
Yeah. And little details like how just jaggedly he draws that last X on the calendar.
Yeah.
It's just twitching.
Yeah, but the visualness about the barflies, that is a very good point, because they haven't spelled it out. Oh, you know what? I don't need to get depressingly drunk with you sad barflies right now. No, they just sort of show it. They were showing it during that whole, oh, look, Homer's back. We hate him. I think this is a problem. This is obviously something that The Simpsons had to address because, you know, Homer's this wildly popular character and one of his traits is he loves beer. And, you know, it's a very fine line for a show to be like, this is the character versus this is what we're endorsing.
Yeah.
So it's sort of good that they've put Homer, like, just having a break.
Yeah, and it's nothing character changing, and it does still illustrate drinking largely in a bad light.
Yeah.
Whereas if we think of the other one, it's like, oh, he gets tanked with Moe's and then drives home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big point, but it is something they just kind of glossed over. Whereas here, it's the crux of the episode.
It's still very human episodes dealing with very, like, you know, human problems, which is when I think The Simpsons was at its best, when it was relatable.
Yeah.
And it also resets it to zero in a way that you feel good about it.
You still feel like you've gone through a character arc, but you know Homer's okay with drinking now, but he also can take that time.
Yeah.
He's making some time for his wife. And I love that scene as they're bicycling off at the end.
Beautifully coloured and all the orange.
And also very simple. We just cut from him leaving to them on the bike. It's not him coming back and Marge,
I've learned a lesson.
Yeah,
we're going for frosty chocolate milkshakes.
So, play count. How many times before tonight do you think you've seen this episode?
Geez. A hamster flying a plane worth.
Oh, I thought you would have said 30 days worth.
Damn it!
I will say many, many, many times.
Yeah.
This is one of those episodes that is splintered in my brain. And all of these iconic jokes are just like, when I think of The Simpsons, I think of so many moments from this episode.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Like, so many iconic moments. Like, I will say, like, I'm hesitant to call it an iconic episode as a whole, but it's definitely made up of so many of these small, endlessly quotable things. So let's get into some of those. With the wackiness of this episode, what are some wacky things that stood out to you guys?
Giant spider? the rhyming treasure map way out.
I think we all know from running D&D campaigns, if you make a map, it rhymes.
Absolutely.
It's just kind of a requirement.
If it rhymes, it's true.
Yeah, that's the way it works. How about Wiggum getting knocked over in the giant beer can? Help! Wait, this is kind of fun.
Yeah, wee!
Kaboom!
Yep, put it in the...
Train explodes in the playlist of exploding things that shouldn't explode.
Yeah,
absolutely. While we're talking playlists, how about people jumping out of windows?
Yeah.
With our help, you'll never touch a beer again.
The BTA's disbanded.
Yeah, and today we had an accidental playlist of, mentions to the royal family as well, with Barney thinking that pile of rags was Princess Di. That is so stupid. I love it.
Highly defined butt playlist.
Yeah, I wrote down Skinner's badonk.
He's like, badonk, like he's wearing nothing at all.
Yeah, like he goes to bend his shoe and all of a sudden it's dun 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 dun.
Oh, and in that same moment, the giant goddamn tomato.
The tomato.
The tomato. Busted my tomato.
Busted my tomato.
And without trying to come off like we're copying our good friends over at Pods in the Key of Springfield. Well, no, but that is a very good point that I didn't think about before their episode.
That Lisa just loaded this with anabolic steroids, and that's probably not fit to feed humans. But I love the line where it's like, the same that are used to help our athletes reach new heights, the very same.
That's so infomercially delivered.
Well, it's just such a moment where I've realized how much grown-up humor was hidden in the show.
Oh, fucking oath. But no, the moment that I want to mention is, and this has been something that's always bugged me over the years, so I'm saying also go check out their podcast, Pods in the Key of Springfield. It's a lot of fun. But the fact that Lisa brings the tomato to school the day that's not the science fair has always bugged the shit out of me.
You got to walk your tomatoes. When they're full of steroids and you don't exercise them, they get grouchy.
Oh, yeah, you got to massage it. Yeah. Massage the steroids.
I suppose. Well, I mean, I guess that is the scenario, that she does need to have constant upkeep and watching it.
Yeah,
but...
it's like, in Better Off Ted, when they try to grow the meat and they need to stimulate it, otherwise it becomes depressed.
I haven't thought of Better Off Ted in so long.
It's such a great show. I'm so bummed they never got a third. It's really...
Two great seasons.
2 great seasons.
Yeah. Portia de Rossi
Yeah.
Ah.
and everyone.
Oh, I think everyone in that show is just an absolute showcase for...
I need to rewatch that.
Oh, it's so good. There are so few bad episodes of it.
My favorite's still when they accidentally give Linda like a boost drug.
Oh.
I forget what it is. That's
Oh,
like
yeah. And she's
experimental
like
irony drug, and she's like just insanely perky the entire time. Have you seen your legs are like granite wrapped in silk.
Like, and it's one of those shows where it can reset to zero because like there's a new experiment that they can do every week. It's what I loved also about Party Down, where
Yes, it was always just a new gig.
Great story engine. A story engine making machine. It's so inherently fantastic.
with solid characters, and that also only lasted 2 seasons. Fucking hell.
Yep.
Oh, get your shit together, Hollywood. Where are we up to? Wackiness.
Bart just shoves his whole fist in his mouth.
No,
It's doable.
Gets
I've done it.
Oh shit.
It didn't get stuck.
The Duff blimp dropping out little parachuting,
Yeah.
paratrooping Duff
Beers, yep.
bottles of beer.
And
Yeah.
the train, chocolate.
I always thought it was saying chug a duff, but it is saying chug a lug, right?
I always thought it was chug-a-lug.
Yeah.
But I also thought Princess Di was a pile of rats, not a pile of rags. But I listened this time, it's definitely rats.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe it's like a Mandela effect.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
it was rats.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I sold the alternative cut.
2 timelines crossed over.
We're through the looking glass here, people. Incidentally, Alice's adventures through the windshield glass.
And decapitation of Leadfoot Larry.
This
Of
is
Larry
so-
Leadfoot.
This is so excellent.
That whole bit is just phenomenal.
Great Troy McClure.
Oh, just what a terrible tragedy. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. Fucking pitch perfect.
I just think we'll be looking at real life accidents. And everyone's like being sick to their stomach, and Homer's just
and
like,
the one dude who swallows his own puke. Oh my
well,
god.
either that or let it go on the floor.
him off the sidewalk.
It's funny because I don't know him. And just the start of that, it's like, well, what you're going to watch next will shock you out of ever drink driving again. It's just him
Yep.
and a kitty pulling.
It's such a good scream.
Yeah.
It's such a good scream.
Oh, wait, I do something really funny here. So this is
No one laughs.
and this is the first appearance of Sarah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sarah Wiggum. This is her first
really?
on-screen appearance.
Oh,
yeah.
what a great first appearance.
Yeah.
In a home movie.
Roll the thing. Just on Troy McClure as well, this episode's awesome because we get double Phil Hartman.
Yeah.
We also get a little Lionel
Quality.
Hutz bit.
Yeah, nice.
Surprise witnesses, each more surprising than the last.
Pipe down in their huts. Such a good misdirect.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And also tying into when Lionel Hutz does bring out surprise witnesses. And I can't remember what episode that is. Oh, it's the Chester Lampwick
Yeah,
one.
Your
Yeah.
Honor, I'd like to recall all my surprise witnesses again. Ralph is in there.
And yeah, just I forgot to mention it before. Yeah, the actual tomato hitting Skinner's butt. Oh my god, that is just amazing slow motion animation.
Yeah. And then he's just lying on the ground, just
He's
cowering.
twitching.
That's a ruined man.
Yeah.
That's a big tomato.
Yeah.
And I also use that still for the social media as well because it is a weird image. Just Skinner's butt, he's painted completely red, splashes all around.
Yeah,
and
so many seeds on it.
Yeah, that is a seedy ass. And yeah, I guess the hamster storyline as well, there's a lot of wackiness in there.
It is a very smart hamster.
It writes
Yeah.
mysteries.
How can a hamster write
Yeah, he
mysteries?
gets the ending first and works backwards.
Under the alias J.D. McGregor. Look, kid, just take him before his
excellent.
mother eats him, okay?
Such an excellent this guy.
Yeah.
Ralph, not Ralph.
Yeah, Raphael.
Raphael, yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't always have a name, but
He's just, hey, that guy.
yeah, mostly he's known as Sarcastic Guy. So how about the heart of this episode? Did you guys feel the bumps?
Again, it was more of a subtle thing.
Yeah.
Like, I really like Marge's pleading, because she does the hand thing again. Like when Homer...
Usually works.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, she's doing that. They actually do have a visual reference when she does the hand thing.
What hand thing? This thing?
No. When Homer's going to send the angry letter to Mr. Burns after giving
Yeah.
him Bart's blood, and Marge is like, no, calm down, does like the hand thing, kind of rubs his hand. She does it when they're sitting in bed to convince him to not drink beer for a month, and it's like, she does do that. Jeez.
That's such a nice little detail.
Yeah, I'm now very curious how many other times it crops up.
Marge does the hand thing playlist.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But she wasn't really asking anything drastic of Homer either. It's just, please, like, I'm worried this might be a problem. I'm not going to say it is,
Yeah,
but
she's reading the pamphlet, Is Your Spouse a Souse?
I like that she comes in to remind Homer, hey, you don't need to go out run and get blotto right away, you know.
Yeah, and they're like, send the kids to the neighbors, I'm coming back loaded. Like, to be so drunk, you have to send the kids away.
It's going to be traumatic if they see me
Oh,
like this.
yeah.
Very thoughtful of him.
Yeah.
And yeah, Homer owning the situation and making the turn and choosing the bike ride and going off in that beautiful sunset that looked wonderful.
Yeah, good playlist is Into the Sunset.
Yeah. The summer wind.
Came blowing.
There goes the best
This darn employee. This...
Yeah. But ultimately, though, guys, did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Oh, yeah.
It feels like the best Simpsons.
Yeah, man. I think every character is really on point. Yeah, it almost sucks a bit that Bart comes out victorious when he should have had some comeuppance still, but he still got electrocuted.
And also, Lisa, was not doing good things to Bart.
No.
He did destroy her tomato, or her tomato. But she, for a whole month was, kind of torturing him and, manipulating him and,
Although, I do love every scene where it's just like, wise guy, huh?
Playlist of Bart doing Stooge.
Yeah,
I've
Stooge's
seen your
references.
curly as well.
Yeah, and I like how he walked past the cabinet and just goes, stupid books.
Stupid books.
So he does that every day.
Yeah. Why are you there taking up space?
He could have just been walking in, but he walked in, immediately had a line.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a line, it was a sound.
books.
It was...
Yeah.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
There wasn't a moment of emptiness.
And if there was, that was the point.
Yes, it was a deliberate choice.
You know, that is, it's weird because that is my criticism of the third act. It feels like the Homer quit drinking sketch show, but that's the other side of the coin. It's not slow. It's constantly moving. There is stuff happening all the time. So
It doesn't feel like a rat-a-tat kind of crazy cartoon. You know, it doesn't feel like an animated show with its pacing like what we know now.
Yeah, and I think any of the parts that were a bit slower were to sell jokes that just took a little bit longer. Again, it's an old episode, and the way we approach...
And passage of time as well. That sells the month of time, which is...
Yeah. So it didn't seem like they were just dragging time out. It was more just letting things sit that now you could probably cut a few seconds from, but then it might have been necessary.
But yeah, I am still interested in the version of this episode that didn't have the hamster storyline because as well watching this, I got the feeling I thought there was way more stuff in the Duff brewery, and there wasn't really.
There's still some great lines.
Oh,
Everyone's tried Raspberry Duff, Lady Duff, Charter Control Duff.
I love the moment where they've got Duff, Duff Dry, and Duff Light.
Yeah.
And the reveal of the third one has the camera pulled out wide enough to see that it's all coming from the same the same thing. It's
Did you never notice that one?
No, I missed that.
It's such a wonderful, subtle thing where it's like
amazing,
a perfect visual joke.
Yeah, because you think it's the pan back just to get all three tanks, but then you see it's coming
You
from
see, and it's just up. It doesn't draw attention to
we're gonna have
itself.
to go back so you can see that. That's such a good bit.
But yeah, I do like it in that same scene, and he's like, well, we've got a lot more plans for the future.
Like what?
Okay, we don't have any plans. Are you happy?
No.
So yes or no, would you watch this one again?
Yes.
100%. I think I'm going to show my little brother this.
Yeah?
How young is he out of
He's
curiosity?
10.
Okay, because I feel like there are going to be plenty of things that go right over his head.
Right, and I want to expose him to all of those things so that he can appreciate when his head is at a higher level.
Yeah. Because, that is a lot of fun to go back and watch these. And I did not pick that up, and I still enjoyed this episode.
Even now, there's a little bit when they go to the presidential debate between Kennedy and Nixon is, well, I think I'll find that the president was making a facetious remark there. And I know that's got to be a comment to something, which was Eisenhower, who was before Kennedy.
That's a direct quote from Nixon.
Oh, motherfucker.
I know. Deep wells, man.
Exactly, but I mean...
The man's never drunk a Duff in his life.
Yeah. Oh, man. So good. So we're going to watch it again. What playlist does this go in?
We'll jump it through Windows.
Jumping through windows. Things exploding that should.
Driving
Big
school.
butts. I cannot lie.
Big butts, driving school.
Yeah.
Put this when Marge loses.
Duff Factory.
Yep. Sobriety as well. Put this when Barney sobers up.
References to various sectors of the nuclear plant.
Yeah.
7B is the one with the giant spider.
Science fairs. And general fairs.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. And stupid Lisa Science Queen. That's a playlist right there.
Put it in with the Halloween episode with the tooth.
Yep. Genesis Tub, yep.
Really great bit where Homer and his brain switch between the two.
Oh
so
my
it's like,
God,
well,
so good.
off to work, then to the Duff Brewery. Clocking at 9, out by 5. That's my motto. Suckers don't know a thing. Well, off to the plant, then to the Duff Brewery. Oh, did I think that or just say it? I better think of a plan fast.
Yeah,
Think of a lie quick. Are you going to the Duff Brewery?
like,
oh, man, it's
he's
such
so
a good
caught
bit.
out. Like, oh, man. Yeah, this episode opens so goddamn strongly. But BT, what would you like to change about the episode?
Other than trim a couple of seconds of like slowdown that you just don't need, nothing. I think we're all good here. It's all pretty damn hilarious. So surprisingly dark jokes, but still great. I really love Mrs. Simpson. Your husband was caught DOA.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, DWI. I get those mixed up all the time. The woman who walks in. You said my husband was DWI. Why don't you talk to that officer over there? I'm going to lunch. Just the subtext of that moment.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Oscar? Anything you'd like to change?
Not really. I'm really wonderfully pleased and surprised with how solid this episode was for me and how much I enjoyed every moment, every kind of ebb and flow, and it just paced along at like a good trot. Not a
Never a gallop.
never a gallop, but like solid trot.
Yeah, like a big old canter.
Yeah, and hey, I think cantering is my favorite form of horse.
Speed of horse.
My favorite horse speed.
All right, everybody, top 3 horse speeds. Go.
Only 3?
BT, do you have any other notes?
Indeed, I do. They reference Herman's head. Kids, this was Inside Out, basically, before Inside Out.
That was my first comment when I saw that Inside Out was in production and the concept art. And who would have thought that it'd go on to be like my 3rd favorite Pixar movie?
It's still a great movie. It's just, yeah.
What's your ranking
For Disney movies?
for Pixar?
Oh, for Pixar?
Just top. What are the top 3?
Up.
Up.
For me, number 1, no question.
Up. Toy Story, Inside Out, and for a 3rd. If we're just doing Pixar, God, Up does kind of have to be there, doesn't it?
See, I'm not on the up train.
Oh, really?
No?
I'm not on the up and up.
You're not on the uptake?
No, my top 3 is solidly Brad Bird.
Oh, yeah, Incredibles?
Incredibles.
Oh, that's a very good point.
Incredibles, Ratatouille.
I didn't know
I haven't-
Ratatouille was a bird one.
I haven't
Interesting.
revisited a lot of these for a long time, so
Big recommend. Ratatouille is maybe the best Pixar movie.
I still
And
haven't seen it.
The
so-
whole you haven't seen it at all? Oh, it's really good.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
really good. And Brad Bird came into it like a year into production.
Is that a fact?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was
Wow.
going to be called Rats, and it was the main rat was going to be voiced by Rob Schneider.
Ah.
Wow.
Rob Schneider's a rat. He's going to learn that being a rat isn't all it's rat up to be.
Don't you rat me out?
Man, what a better direction to do Ratatouille and Patton Oswalt.
I appreciate their commitment to calling it Ratatouille, given that that's hard to pronounce for most people.
Well, that's why on the poster it was
Yeah,
always
it-
phonetically
yeah.
written out, which
Yeah.
is like
Because, it looks like Ratatouille.
yeah. All right, just quickly getting back.
I could
we could go on.
Please continue.
Yeah. Back to The Simpsons.
Nelson's science fair project is wasting squirrels with BB guns.
Yeah.
Here's the grapes and here's the raft.
Yeah,
Excellent, Raph.
he oddly participates in these extracurricular
He
activities.
puts effort in.
Yeah.
He
It's a
does
certain
think about
kind
it.
of effort, but
It's his effort.
He also popped a really sick wheelie next to Homer.
I do love the stupid bucking ring ring. I guess it's not all bad.
That's such a nice end to that scene.
Yeah, and I think it really does highlight Homer's sweetness.
Yeah. Always look on the bright side of life. Ring, 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 ring.
Look at all those feminists. You thinking what I'm thinking? That's it's such a great. I don't even know what to call it. A
It's
send up
a-
of itself. I don't even know.
It's pure satire.
Yeah,
It's like,
but
this
like-
is beer ads.
Yeah.
Look at all
While
those
being a beer
feminists.
ad, while having women protesting a beer ad, who then become the stereotype. It's brilliant. It's stacks on stacks there.
How about you, Oscar? Any other notes?
Ned having his one drink, which I can't remember what the drink was.
4,000 days. First and last, blackberry schnapps.
Blackberry schnapps. She's a boring old biddy. I was more beast than man that day.
I like that I burped when I said Ned, and I got weird death growl out of it.
Hans, alcohol ruined my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
35
years.
years.
31.
No, you're right.
31 years
That
old.
is fucking scary for me as a
Yeah.
32-year-old.
You're doing well, man.
when
I don't look like a shriveled up old prune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for context,
though you do taste like a peanut.
funny that.
I wish you'd stop kissing me.
Just for context, 4,000 days is over 10 years.
Jesus. And then he throws it all away with a white wine spritzer, spritzer, spritzer.
Maybe one of the boys was conceived that night.
Ah.
I'd say, yeah.
Nothing turns Maud on like ragging on Ann Landers.
The word boring old Biddy is just so filthy she can't help herself.
I love the phrasing. It's so good.
Boring old Betty.
When Marge has Homer promise that he won't have any beer for a month, and he says, "Okay, no deer for a month."
You say beer or deer?
Deer.
I love the amount of pause there. It's like just deer.
Playlist. You can put that with, yeah, sure, go to bread.
Yeah.
And just the cap on that one. She's, I was saying, psst, I love you.
I
Oh,
love
that's
you.
so funny. Think he could get away with that.
Yeah.
Like he ever says that to her like that. Hey, Marge, psst, I love you.
The long extended of Homer trying to knock Barney out.
Yeah, that was brutal.
That's what I mean by this one being a surprisingly violent one, but it's still funny. He's, ow. He's like mildly annoyed, ow.
Yeah.
He just goes from the punch to a crowbar to slamming his head in the door. So I did have a couple more because I didn't realize I'd actually gone over page because I usually never do that.
I know, I've got 3 pages for this
Yeah.
one. Please
wow.
go on.
One of my other ones is, I found $100 in your pants. Yoink. Just a great use of yoink.
Yoink playlist.
Yep. And finally, you'll be back, and you, and just straight down the camera, and you.
Of course I'll be back. If you didn't shut, I'd never leave.
Put that in the playlist of
Can you solve
Can
this?
you solve it?
Oh, yeah, that's
geez,
right.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, direct to camera. Any other notes?
I just really love Pretty Lame Millhouse.
Pretty lame.
Oh yeah, with Mo and Barney and that guy who calls me Bill.
Yeah. Fantastic, just subtle illustrations that, yeah, he absolutely doesn't need this.
Yeah, but it's a great way to
Yeah.
you get a laugh, but you get story points out of it.
Yeah.
That's the best kind of writing, when you get a joke, but you get context and character from it.
It's moving everything forward.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, time for my final notes.
The final notes.
Yeah, I know. It's like
We did have one, and we all liked it, and I can't remember how it goes. So.
it was like a very talk showy. They're the final notes. Chickadoo.
Final notes.
Do-do-do. I like having a do-do-do. So I forgot to say it before, but yeah, when the episode opens, I love that it just gets gradually more absurd until you realize, okay, this can't be a Simpsons episode and that it is opening into a dream. I think they just rolled that out really elegantly.
Yeah.
I learnt to tie my shoes from Principal Skinner, over, under, in and out. Is what shoe tying is all about.
And then someone throws a tomato at you.
How else do you tie your shoes?
Yep.
You don't.
Yeah, Herman's head as well. It's just a funny little wink that they mention that as well, because Yardley Smith, Lisa's
she was
voice,
on it.
she was
I
one of the
forgot.
voices in Herman's head.
Yes.
I was wondering, how did we get diverted? Oh, yeah, we were talking about Pixar. You say that anything referencing Inside Out, and I'm going to continue.
Yeah, no fun.
I really do want to try gummy bears. That sounds delicious. Oh, yeah. Chief Wiggum goes, look alive, boys. We've got a couple of stewed prunes. Never heard that in reference to someone being drunk. I like that. Drunk goals, being as stewed as a prune. Patty looked really satisfied to revoke Homer's license
Oh,
there.
yeah. Well, it doesn't get any sweeter than that.
No.
And it really, I love that was it.
Mm.
Like there's a lot of content in this episode because it covers so much time. Like 2 shots of them at the DMV.
Yeah. Actually, I think the courtroom scene might have been adjusted as well, because there were a few like weird lip syncy moments, and the fact that Lionel Hutz was in the scene before makes me think, oh, maybe they did have a bit more
Where
of a
he
scene
was
there.
the lawyer or something, yeah.
Yeah. All good stuff that I probably should have figured out before coming here to record a podcast about it, but here we are.
No. Let's lay the tracks in front of us as we're going along.
Oh, yeah. So when Homer does cross off the last calendar mark, what time is it? Like, because you think if you're saying, okay, I'm going to go without
Yeah.
alcohol, the
Like
day
when do you cross the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's already crossing it off while Moe's is still open, so it's probably not midnight. In
And
fact, it's not even sundown yet.
Yeah, and it's like sundown when they're going on
Let's
the bike.
let's say it's 5 o'clock, and that feels like the end of his day to him because he's knocked
Yeah.
off work, he's gotten home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
He crossed it off when he started it.
Yeah.
Like around the same time,
Well, yeah,
which is
I
when
guess.
he'd come home and he'd started drinking. And
Okay, I buy that now.
That's a fair point, but yeah.
It is time to rank this thing. Oscar, kick it off.
I'm going to go with a solid cubic zirconia.
Whoa.
I'm going, it's a really excellent episode, just packed full with jokes and gags and story progression.
Mm.
Just all through it. It's just a really interesting structure as a story. It's not a dramatic story, but it's an important story. It's an important for him, for Marge, and then solid B story. I love the guinea pig. It's got some of my favorite imagery. It's really beautifully directed, and this is top Simpsons for me. I really like it.
All right, cool. How about you, BT?
I am also going to give a cubic zirconia. I feel like the argument could be made for a gold because it's maybe not as iconic as some, but then there's such moments from it that are incredibly iconic. And I love how just deep the comedy is, how he can still draw something out of it years later. The fact that I only really noticed that Prohibition gag this time around. And it's not as jam-packed with jokes or with heart as some of our other cubic zirconias. However, it's just a really solid episode. I think I got some laugh-out-loud moments from it, and quite a few, from something that's 400 years old that I've seen 8,000 times, and it's still giving me something. That's astounding. So, yeah, look, it's a lot more subtle, both in humor and in its emotional core, but I think it's all still there, and it's all still great, and yeah, cubic it up for me.
All right, so if you send it 8,000 times for 400 years, that would have been an average of, you've watched this 20 times per year.
I'm watching it right now.
I really wish you'd get off your phone during recordings. Yeah, look, sorry to be Debbie Downer, but I'm going with a very poor ranking of a gold.
Debbie. No, I had a feeling you would.
No, I mean, it just doesn't quite get up there for me. Like I said, issues of pacing towards the end, sort of. Not that it makes it a bad episode at all. It doesn't really remind me of, those core essential
of the
episodes.
Good times.
But, a very excellent episode still around. Stuff that I'll quote for years and a lot that I love about it. But yeah, I mean, I still really do want to see the version of this episode that doesn't have the Bart Lisa storyline in it that's solely about Homer. But maybe it does provide the levity that you need for, what is kind of a serious topic. But, yeah, anyway, solid gold for me, which will make this a dull cubic zirconia. This will be joining other such episodes from Season 4 as I Love Lisa, the Ralph Wiggum falling in love with Lisa, which I was also the Debbie Downer on that episode.
Nothing gets chocolate out.
What else? Dust Bus, which we reviewed with you last time, Oscar. Very solid episode. HOMR, where Homer gets the crayon in his brain or discovers that he had it all along. The Cartridge Family, where Homer gets a gun. And Bart of Darkness, which we reviewed the other week with Michael. And yeah, you can almost hear me on the track trying to convince him to go up from a gold.
No, you can't almost. You can. It's there.
I actually feel bad in Hottest 100s and Thousands as well. It sort of seems like I'm trying to steer them up from their rankings in with Homer Palooza. But I
didn't think so.
No, I was more trying to explain the rating system, but...
I mean, because in that you even say, look, it's mostly just because I love these bands, and it really speaks to you musically as well as being a great episode.
Yeah. And Lisa's date with Density, the Lisa falling in love with Nelson episode.
I was the downer on that.
Yeah, you were too. Oh, I really tried to convince you to go up in that one.
You did. I'm still convinced I made the right choice.
I'm not.
I agree. I agree with that one.
In theory. In theory, communism works.
All right, guys. Well, that about does it for the Simpsons Index. But before we get out of here, we like to just mention a couple of things that we're into this week. So starting with you, BT, what are you into?
All right, I feel like we're going to be mentioning one of the two same things. So I'm going to pick, let's see which one I want to go with. I am going to go with American Vandal Season 2.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're even on this podcast during one of the no review specials raving about Season 1 and going, if they made a Season 2, there's no way they're going to make it work again. They did.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to say it's maybe not as good just because the first season is going to strike you as something you didn't expect to like. So naturally the second one is going to be hard to live up to that. But no, they still give you an interesting mystery that unfolds in interesting ways. Characterization's really good. Humor's really good. The whole damn thing is just a fantastic effort. I highly recommend. Check out Season 1 first. Obviously, that's more for context because you can start at Season 2 straight away if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Oscar? Anything you're into lately that you want to...
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to The Good Place. Watched all of it. And then watch the Wisecracks philosophy of The Good Place.
I haven't seen that yet. I look forward to it. I like Wisecrack.
And that got me to rewatch it again. And it's also got me reading Jean-Paul Sartre's essays in existentialism. So, yeah, I highly recommend definitely The Good Place. You start where I start and see where it leads you.
Yeah. Sorry, I've told this story a lot, but not on the podcast. I was on a plane trip recently with my mum, and she was scrolling through looking for things to watch, and I would have already talked about The Good Place with her and said, you got to watch this. You'd love this, Mum. And she goes to watch it, but they only had Season 2 on the plane, so I had to dive in front of the screen and spilling my orange juice all over my little shitty chicken brioche, and it was worth it to save Mum from that, because, that is an amazing show.
The less you know, the better.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I had some problems with the Season 2 finale. The first episode of Season 3 fucking solved them. Like,
Oh, I haven't watched the first episode of season 3
oh yeah,
yet. I'm watching it tomorrow.
Fortunately,
strong.
Netflix are being really good, and they're releasing it as they come out, which is just it's really good. You know,
It's so good. And it's by the creator of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
yeah, Parks and Rec, and he was one of the big guys in The Office US as well. Yeah, Michael Shaw.
Yeah.
He plays Mose in The Office, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the same guy who created like 3 of the best sitcoms
I
ever.
had no idea.
Yeah.
Nice work, Michael Shaw. If you ever want to be on the show,
Yeah, doors always open. Yeah, look, I'm going to do 2, but I'm going to be quick about both of them. Better Call Saul season 4 is fucking amazing. I've sort of had a mixed relationship with Better Call Saul up until this point because while I like it, I like exploring this universe. It never sort of really grabbed me, but season 4 has been knocking it out of the park. Ray Seahorn is an acting treasure. Please, Hollywood, if you're listening, give her all the roles. And also BoJack Horseman season 5, which I'm assuming was the other one that you were.
yeah.
It's just, that show's just floored me again. I am eternally surprised with how deep that show cuts, and it's just that perfect mix of absurdity and
The fact they can
real
cut
emotion.
from real heavy stuff to just ridiculousness in the drop of a hat is amazing.
Yeah, these characters that seem so surface level, that get so
They
deep.
they
and-
really lean a lot more to the secondary characters in this season. I think it's a good direction. I am wondering how much more they have in them,
Yeah,
and I'm again very much fingers crossed they'll call it before it gets bad.
yeah. But yeah, so BoJack Horseman, everybody. Those are the Simpsons Index official recommendations. All right, guys, let's get out of here. Thank you for joining us in the Simpsons Index podcast, and thank you, Oscar, for coming to SideQuest Studios tonight.
Always my pleasure. Always.
And BT, thank you again.
Can't stop doing the monkey.
And I'm Elliot Jay O'Neill. The J stands for J. And that's all the mustard in the house.
I want you to go a month without mustard. Thank you for listening to the Simpsons Index podcast, which is also an online spreadsheet available at thesimpsonsindex.com. You can chat to us online at facebook.com/thesimpsonsindex or at Simpsons Index on Twitter and Instagram. And now please stay tuned for the bonus scenes!
Yeah, and yeah. Great opening banter, yo.
Oh yeah. It's been 103.
Yep, you'd think I'd be able to know what to do with myself by now.
No, I mean, I'm surprised we still have banter to get through.
Yeah, we haven't run out. Yeah, that's right. People at home, that's our guarantee. More banter is coming.
More banter than you won't know what to do with.
Yep.
I don't know what to not do. Exactly.
Don't banter what Donnie don't bet. Shut up, Ben.
Nah, that is good content. Anyway.
Yeah. Dong. Yeah, really great. Really excellent. Thank you. Order up. Stonecutters.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That's very good.
Where'd you get that?
I bought it online when I was... I'm holding up my hand that has my stonecutter ring on it. It was the best purchase that I've ever made within the first minute and a half of being awake.
It's very specific, but okay.
Yes, impulse, Facebook, the algorithm has got me sorted.
Yeah, because when we went to Simpsons World, I'm like, why of all things do they not have Stonecutters merch, especially the rings?
Their merch was weird, where they didn't have any bought license plates, but they had bought Quickie Mart badges.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we still got them because that's what had bought on them.
Naturally. But yeah, they just do a couple of slightly, it was so close.
Yeah, weird shit like that.
Yeah, they had Krusty Burger collectible cups that you could get, but no Quickie Mart squishy ones. Anyway, there are some obvious things that they
Don't worry,
seem to have.
Disney will rectify this.
Yeah.
Yes.
They will.
They know how to merch.
They know how to merch. We'll be able to get so much cool stuff.
Dennis the Wild Card. Fuck.
When
when you're in a bobsled, you got to lean into the turbs. Lean into the turns.
The turbs?
I don't know what I said.
He was trying to do
The
his John.
terps. Lean into the terps. Turpentine is your friend on a bobsled.
That's what John Candy said in that movie, Home Alone.
That's all I remember from when I was watching it, sniffing terps.
All right.
Oh yeah, that's the angle.
There's always a sweet spot.
There it is, right there. The podcast always reclined.
Always recline.
You Teamsters are so lazy.
Why don't you relax at home?
Relax with us.
I really hope someone in the car is just...
Just getting that good stretch. It's like a
Yeah.
yawn when you hear someone else having a stretch. You're like, oh, my bones are tense right now.
Don't mind if I do.
Just enjoy a good stretch.
Yeah, all you people out there, put your hands in the air and stretch your shoulders.
Put your hands in the air like...
Now you don't care.